Good morning. This is Current Agenda, your weekend companion. Today, we're taking you from the pitch to Parliament and from the courts to our communities. We're here to ask the questions, the conversations matter, and the answers count. I am Maltiti Saida Sadiq. You're welcome. Football first, and the Black Stars now turn to a decisive test against Croatia. After their spirited showing against England, belief is high at home, and several analysts are tipping Ghana for the win. But the games aren't won on paper. Do the Stars have what it takes on the night, or will Croatia be a tougher wall to break? Now, football panel breaks it down today. Next is the Maslow case, and questions are deepening over the incarceration of former Maslow CEO Sedina Tamaklo Tionu. She was reportedly admitted to the police hospital on arrival in Ghana, then moved to Nsawa medium security prison. Yes, the minority in parliament says she was not in prison for nearly 2 weeks and is demanding clarity from the government. Was due process followed, and has the public been given the full story? There's been some internal tensions as well in the MPP, and temperature is rising. A National Executive Committee meeting NEC at the Alisa Hotel in Accra was disrupted after a clash between security personnel and demonstrators chanting, "Ken must go." Is this routine party friction or evidence of wider fault lines? These are questions we are asking this morning. Then we'll turn our attention to other legal issues. The ECOWAS Community Court of Justice, which has thrown out all 7 claims filed by former Chief Justice Gertrude Sabatokunu against the Republic of Ghana and rejected her $10 million damages request. What does this decision signal for judicial independence, constitutional governance, and the former Chief Justice's next steps? We will be interrogating these issues as well. Now also, Ghana's fight against transnational crime is back in focus after 3 suspects, including an alleged kingpin, were arrested over an attempt to traffic 320 kilograms of methamphetamine worth nearly $300 million to Australia. Is Ghana becoming a transit hub for international syndicates? And are our security agencies keeping pace with the threats? These are the big questions that beg us to mind. These are the stories driving the national conversation today. And this morning, this is Current Agenda. We will always urge you to grab your mug, your coffee, and join the conversation wherever you are. We're live across board, even on radio, across our regional radio stations across the country. Welcome. You're watching Current Agenda, your Saturday morning companion, brought to you by Bank of Africa and MPA. Let's do our reflection this morning. Death comes for all of us, but too often what follows is more painful than the loss itself. Where there should be unity, families fracture. Where there should be mourning, there is fighting. Our legacies built over a lifetime can unravel in weeks. The reported shooting tied to a secession dispute in the Crystal Asafo mission involving a former Dom Kwabenya MP, Madam Adwoa Safo, is a grim reminder. Now, investigations are ongoing, yet the case has already pulled the nation's attention back to one hard truth. When succession is unclear, blood can be spilled. This is not one family's story. Across Ghana, Homes have broken apart because founders never said what they wanted. Businesses collapse. Land becomes a battleground. Brothers turn on sisters. Decades of love are undone in months of courtrooms and quarrels. A succession plan is more than paperwork. It is love with foresight. It is responsibility in writing. It is wisdom that says, I will not leave my people to guess. It answers the questions before grief arrives. And it must be legal. A clear, valid will does what whispered promises cannot. It removes doubt. It gives direction. It keeps families out of endless litigation. Assumptions are not a plan. Silence is not a strategy. Nothing we inherit is worth a life. No title, no property, no position. Material things can be replaced. People cannot. When tensions rise, let dialogue come first. Let mediation speak louder than anger. Let the law carry more weight than intimidation. This is not a burden for families alone. Chiefs, pastors, lawyers, and civic leaders all have a role. Teach it early, teach it often. Estate planning is not preparing for death. It is preparing the living for peace. Because the richest inheritance is not land, cash, or a company name, it is unity. It is peace at the table after you are gone. It is a family that still calls itself family. So let every painful dispute teach us. Write your will, be clear, know the law, choose peace over pride when disagreements come. That is how legacies last. I am Altiti Saida Sadiq. Thanks for watching and listening. And when I return from the break, the big discussions will be on our table. Is a football, is a crime? Stay with us.
Stay back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Good morning, you're welcome back. This is Current Agenda, your Saturday companion. The show is proudly brought to you by Bank of Africa and MPA. We're live everywhere. This Saturday morning, we know that most of you are at home, and so you're watching us from there. You can interact with us. Our WhatsApp number will pop up on the screen and send us your messages on all the various big stories that we will be discussing. We're live across radio everywhere, in every region on GBC Radio. So wherever you are, you can listen to us live there on GTV Ghana, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, our website, gbcghanaonline.com as well. We're going to begin with football conversations, as I mentioned early on, because the Black Stars go into that crucial encounter later today with Croatia. And so my guest in the studio this morning to help us understand that, and if you've been following him, he's been doing a lot of commentary on Radio Ghana, is Isaac Tete. He's a sports journalist with the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Isaac, good morning to you.
Titi.
I heard you last night running commentary for the Iraq-Senegal game.
Yes.
And, well, that was quite nail-biting, you know, because of the expectations with Sadio Mane, you know, where he plies his trade in the Arab League and all of that, playing alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. His expectations were high for that game. Maybe you could just a brief comment on that, and then we dive into the Black Stars.
Yeah, so, I mean, in the first half of that game, we saw a Senegalese side that lacked urgency, and we were a bit complaining. My guest and myself were complaining. We didn't know if it had to do with the off-field issues. There were multiple reports suggesting that Senegal's players were unhappy in camp because of some administrative flaws within their preparations at this year's World Cup. They were not too pleased with the hotel arrangement, the accommodation. We understand the chef for the team was left behind because they're running a tight budget as well. They are owed some, you know, bonuses from the past. The coaches without a contract for 6 months. So there were a lot of issues bedeviling their performance at this year's World Cup. Even though we saw them in the first two games, they were not a bad side. Just that they met, you know, better opponents in France and Norway. So in the first, I was a bit surprised because Iraq were down by a man. They were red carded, so they had a numerical advantage. You would expect Senegal to throw more men up front, you know, run route of their defense, but they were a bit, you know, hesitant, and we're not too sure what was going through their minds. But after the break, I don't know what happened, if they had pep talk from the president himself of Senegal. Yeah, so they came out later in the second half. Coach made one or two substitutions, and they were just unstoppable against Iraq. You know, they were sitting, you know, third in that group, and they had no points. So their only hope is to qualify through as one of the best placed third teams, and they secured a 5-goal victory. Before coming to that game, they were without a point, a -3 goals, and they won, and they have a +2 goals now. So it means they have some goal difference advantage that can help them squeeze through the round of 32. So pretty impressive performance from Senegal in the last, you know, group game, and I just hope that can also lead them on to the next stage of the competition.
So it affects psychologically, these things affect them?
Yeah, of course. We saw in 2014 Brazil, and that led to the Jamafre Commission, where we had to, you know, sit down and draft recommendations regarding how we prepare the team psychologically, because it has an effect on the team. 2014, we were airlifting dollars, cash in the air, straight to the camp of the Black Stars camp. And you know what happened? It affected our chances. It was arguably our best experienced team we had, because we played a 2-2 against eventual winners Germany, and that game, according to the TSG, that's the Technical Study Group of FIFA, was one of the best tactical and technical game of the tournament. It means we were psychologically prepared. We had the players were informed, but things that happened in camp, behind the scenes, before our last game, you know, smashed everything away. So some of this and off the field preparation is very important. You know, preparing the team for the World Cup. These are big boys. These are stars. They earn dollars, big monies elsewhere. So you need to give them the best of, you know, preparations. They are used to, you know, state-of-the-art equipment. They are used to very high-profile, you know, preparations, very high-profile masseurs, fitness coaches. Like they are used to that kind of environment, you know, standard practice. So when you come back and you try to give them something that is not up to scratch, you know, they complain, and we've seen that with players. So it is very important that you keep them happy. It's very important. Coaches will tell you that players are like women. You need to always keep them happy. It's very important. They always need to be in a happy mood to give you the best result. And that starts not just on the pitch, it starts before the tournament. And it's very important that we do that as to get the best out of teams ahead of major competitions like the World Cup.
And I don't know why it's always rears ugly head when it comes to African teams.
That is the problem.
These bonuses.
Nigeria has that challenge. It doesn't happen in the Western. The Europeans, they don't. I don't know. You rarely hear anything like that they are complaining about bonuses, World Cup qualifying bonuses, or the coach is without a contract, or they are running a tight budget and they cannot afford the service of everyone. They put in their all. They run it professionally and they give them the best of treatment, adequate preparation, so that there's no excuse whatsoever. If there should be some lapses or deficiencies, it should be on the pitch rather, and not off the pitch. So it happens tonight. Nigeria has their own challenge. Cameroon similarly suffered that same fate some years ago. Ghana did in 2014, and now Senegal. I mean, the second best team on the continent.
Absolutely.
One of the best.
Won the AFCON, but was stripped off. Definitely
suffering the same fate, and it's quite unfortunate because they have the team to really compete at the highest level, just like Morocco. For Morocco, their king is a different person.
Yeah.
He treats them well, he treats them good, and it's quite unfortunate that Senegal is going through this. But I just hope they're able to resolve all this before they get into the next phase of the competition. Yes.
I see that FIFA did share that Ghana has qualified to the round of 32, and so we're bringing up the teams that have moved to the round of 32, including Senegal as well, and that's what you can see on your screen, Isaac. So there's Senegal, there's Ghana, there's South Africa, I see. There's Japan.
Yeah, Japan is there. They'll be playing Brazil.
Japan will be playing Brazil. Yes, and well, that's something to look out for. Fast and Furious versus I'm sure, experience.
So this is very interesting, because where you finish in the group is very important. It affects who you play next. And that's why I'll be doing the permutation later.
Right.
If Ghana finishes second, we finish top, we finish third, who we are going to face, we are up against Group K. That's just to get a fair idea. We are up against Group K, and Group K has Portugal, Colombia, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is out of the way. So DR Congo, who is there to finish at third place, Portugal and Colombia will be playing today, and there'll be a fight for the top spot. If we finish second in our group, we are likely to face the second of that group.
Okay.
So it depends on the outcome.
Okay.
And one of the unfortunate things about we just finishing second is that the game will be played in Canada again.
And so we have issues that we may be missing Party.
Yes, and the minister has said that they are reapplying visa for Party. They are hoping this time around authorities allow Party entry, because if we finish second, which is highly possible for DT, because England will, it's almost impossible to say Panama will upset England. Are going to beat England. So England likely to finish top of that group. If we finish second by holding Croatia or even beating them, we are going to face the second place team in Group K. And that game is already settled. It is going to be played in the BMO Stadium in Toronto.
Wow.
So that's another challenge for Thomas Partey, who was missing that first game. We saw him boss the midfield in the second half, and you would want your best players, especially in the knockout phase of the competition. So now that's the tricky part. If we finish first, that is good for us. That means we get to finish the third place team, the third ranked team in either Group K, Group I, Group J, or some of them. And we finish third, we get to face the top ranked team in Group K. That means we'll finish, we'll play either Portugal or Colombia, but that game will be staged in the US. So we finish third, we play in the US. We finish first, we play in the US. If we finish second, we play in Canada.
Toronto, Canada.
So that is a bit of a challenge for us because of Thomas Partey's denial of entry into Canada, and it's quite a worrying situation. But the minister gave us some assurance that they are trying to do the needful because he omitted. There was a deliberate omission of him facing charges in the UK for allegedly, alleged sexual assault and rape. So this time around, I'm sure they are going to apply properly and hoping that the Canadian immigration authorities allow Thomas Partey entry if Ghana finishes second and has to play their game in Toronto.
Now, for finishing second, and you mentioned that we may play Portugal or Colombia. Who are our greatest threats in this? For me, I think there's Portugal, though, because
of course, Portugal has pedigree more than Colombia. But if you watch the Colombian team this year, they've been fantastic. They are unbeaten. They've won their games, 2 games already. They topped the group with 6 points. Portugal rather drew against DR Congo, so they are behind them with 4 points. But a victory for Portugal means they go top with 7 points. You still want to avoid a team that has Cristiano Ronaldo. You still want to avoid a team that has Bruno Fernandes, João Neves. They have a lot of Champions League winners in their team. They are like one of the most Champions League winners this time around. PSG team, Vitina, there was Meno Mendes, João Neves. So you still want to avoid such a team that has pedigree.
Right.
But the Colombia side is a tricky side. They are no respect of any team. They don't respect or have regard for teams. They play very, very attacking football. They are very ferocious in their attacks. They still have the captain, James Rodriguez. Luis Diaz, very fantastic whenever he's running menacingly, up front. So the two sides are still going to be a big test. But I want us to avoid Portugal. But the tricky thing about Ghana is Ghana always come to the party against big side.
That's the thing.
The Black Stars love those duels
with the big side that we fear that.
Like the Black Stars, they come alive when all us are against them, and we saw that against England.
Yeah.
I mean, Panama, I was skeptical about the Panama game because after the game, I'm like, this is not convincing. It was a victory, but I was very skeptical. So then the England game came, and it is the most talked about fixture as we speak from the group stages.
Absolutely.
Everyone having a breaking analysis or having analysis about the game because of how the masterclass of tactics from Carlos Queiroz in that game. So the Black Stars, yes, have that tendency of coming out big and alive against big matches, but again, you need to be strategic in this tournament.
And it's
your route to the final, you'd want teams that will not disturb you. So any of them is still going to be a tough test for us. But
is Croatia going to be a big team? Are we going to approach Croatia like we approached England?
Yeah, I don't think the game approach will change. I don't think the mentality will change, the attitude will change. Tactics, I don't think will change. The coach will still go in with that mentality. Like I said, those two matches, it's very clear. You go in to avoid a defeat.
Right.
If you want to make progress, you go into avoid a defeat. Fortunately for Ghana, thankfully, we've already progressed mathematically, and we are in the posted by FIFA to the next stage. So this is more like where we finish next in the group, whether we finish second or third or first. That is what they are going to play for. But again, it's a very good opportunity for you to really shape up your team against such big opponents. Croatia has never lost an African team before, just like England.
Oh, wow.
They played 4 times, they won 3. They've drawn just once. They've never lost to a team ranked 40 and below. Ghana are ranked 65th now, which is good news, by the way. It's not the best, but before we started the tournament, we are ranked 73rd. Now we are 8 places up because of our performances against...
8 places?
Yes, up. We are now 65th in the world. It's not bad, and 14th on the continent. But Croatia has never lost a game to
an African team.
A team, and a team ranked 40th and below at the World Cup. They are always on top, and they've lost just once in their last 8 matches at the group stage. Their only defeat came to England, the 4-2 in the opening game. So they know how to play the group stage. They know how to play against African teams. So again, this is where the Black Stars come in. When the odds are against us, we come out big. We did it against England. England had never lost a game against an African opponent, and so they were on favorite on paper. They are the 4th best team in the world. But again, we held them. And the English, I've had English international, former English international like. Emil Heskey, Rio Ferdinand, all commending the masterclass from Carlos Queiroz Black Stars team. So I think we are not going to lose this game.
Okay.
I'm very hopeful that we are not going to lose this game. We're just going to deploy the team in the same mindset, with the same mindset against England.
And hopefully we get a better refereeing side this time around, because that played a critical role. And I had, as you mentioned, English pundits, commentators, talk about how the refereeing, the penalties that were supposed to have been awarded to us, how much the VAR slept in that game versus in other games.
There's a top England referee, the former English EPL referee, Dermot Gallagher.
Okay.
And after the game, he was interviewed on Sky Sports, and he says it's a clear penalty for him. At least he should have gone to the VAR for a review. So he was quite surprised. He was shocked as to how the referee ignored all these options when the incident happened. Ezri Konsa clearly from behind heckled and pulled down Prince Edu Kwabena. It should have at least gone to the VAR for review, but there was nothing like that. I mean, most of us were equally fixated on the chance Prince Edu Kwabena had. So we were less, we didn't complain much about the challenge on him by the defender. So, and again, I think the team on the day also failed to protest. In an instance like this, you need your captain, and the players should have protested, and even from the bench, protest very hard and long, and force the referee, to go at least for the VAR. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. I think we're all overwhelmed by the fact that he missed that glorious opportunity. But I mean, next time we learn from that against Croatia, and moving on in the knockout phase, we don't repeat such mistake. And of course, FIFA also equally have a responsibility with the officiating team to give us a very fair officiating next time.
You heard from Carlos, and you heard from some of the players alike. I think I heard from Ajete.
Yeah.
Benjamin Asare has been speaking, the star boy. And what do you make of how they felt after that match and how they're approaching tonight's game?
They're happy, and I liked something about their mentality in camp. They're not getting carried away by that performance.
Okay.
You know, the questions posed or thrown at them were, this is good for them. They were being read, statistics or stats were being read to them like, this is what you guys have done, this record. But they are like, it's match after match. It's one game after the other. It's a long journey. It's not a short one. It's a tournament. We take it one after the other. They were happy, yes, about the performance to bring joy to Ghanaians, but they were very cautious, and they had that mentality. They were not complacent in their thoughts and how they played against the English side. So that is one thing I admire about the team, and it's one thing I've said about Carlos Queiroz, the kind of mentality he brings on board whenever he gets the chance to manage the national team. We've seen it again across the team that is managed with Manchester United when he was an assistant coach, and Gary Neville will tell you that that goalless draw they played against Barcelona in Camp Nou, of course, and beating them 1-0 in 2008, 2009, was as a result of Carlos Queiroz siege mentality he had for the team then. He did that with Portugal also. He did that with Iran. He has that thing where he enters the minds and hearts of these players and gives them that, those that they need, that dopamine that they need to play at the highest level and not be complacent.
And so this time you saw a coach who was in control of his team.
Yes, I've said it that this tournament, the winner of this tournament will be the champion of this tournament will be one from the bench. The coaches are having very huge impact on the matches. Normally, it would have been players dictating, but coaches are really changing the face of game in this tournament. So it is very, very important that your technical bench is as sharp and very smart in games just to change the face of game and get you the necessary result. So Carlos is the man. Clearly, his blueprint was written on this team. We saw a different Black Stars in the first two games of this World Cup. Before coming to this World Cup, we lost back to back to back. We were conceding for the very first time. We've not conceded in 2 matches. If you fail to concede against Croatia, we make a record. We'll be the first African team to go 3 matches without conceding a goal in a major tournament like the World Cup. So Carlos clearly has his blueprints, has his hands, his work written on this Black Stars team, and I think he's up to something really good and big for the Black Stars.
Okay.
My call will be keeping Carlos for long beyond this tournament. I mean, if you have such a coach, a manager, I think I'm build the team for a longer time, and of course achieve success for us in that longer period.
Absolutely. Isaac, I would give my guests who have joined us now a round, and then I'll come to you. You mentioned the permutation and also in the squad list who is treacherous for us. It's Luka Modric, top of my head, that I would say. But I know there are some other Man City players in there as well, just like we have Semenyo. And so at the table this morning, joining us for current agenda is Dr. John Osai Kwapong, Democracy and Development Fellow, CDD Ghana. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Also as well, returning is Kwame Owusu Danto Esquire. He's a private legal practitioner, Executive Director, Lands and Mines Watch Ghana. Hi, Kwame. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, good morning. Likewise, good morning.
Great. At the table as well, Enoch Ofuakwa, you missed him last week, but he was, monitoring and sending us messages. Well, he's back here at the table. He's a member of the MPP's legal team. Ofuakwa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hope you're good. I like your jersey.
Yes, because we are for the Black Stars.
Okay.
The shining Black Star.
Okay. So let me pick your top comments on them.
No matter the strength of the team, we believe that the spirit of Ghana is with the team, and we are fighting on to put our name on the world map. Certainly, at the time that the World Cup was about to commence, a lot of people did not have faith in our stats, but we have faith in the nation Ghana. That indeed, as we call ourselves Ghana, a small state, a small country within the Sub-Saharan Africa that was able to secure its independence earlier with the structures put in place and all those things. We saw that, yes, certainly we'll do something significant at the World Cup. That is what we are seeing today. We have 4 points now going to the Ghana-Croatia match, which is a decider, which I know definitely that we are going to beat them by a long goal.
Hey.
Yes. Take it.
Okay.
I have predicted.
You have predicted long goal.
Yes, long goal.
Afakwa has said it.
It's a 1-0 against Croatia.
Okay.
And certainly, that is going to be it. And we are going to have 7 points to qualify to the next stage, the Group 32. And certainly at the Group 30, how do you call it? Round of 32, yes, we are going to do something significant again, like Morocco did. Certainly the team, the spirit of the team is awake. And now the players are getting, the bonding is intense. They are getting to know each other and they are playing well. This is a highly competitive game. And once they are playing, it surpasses the training matches that they were playing. And now their psyche and everything is at peace, and they know what they are doing on the pitch. And like my brother rightly said, the technical bench is also solid. Looking at the impact that Carlos Queiroz has made on the team within the short period of time that he has been with the team is quite significant. And I believe that going forward, we need to engage the right hands and the right mind to manage our teams. Now, under 17, under 20, and the likes are no more, simply because of how we have handled these other teams in the past. Certainly, looking at the orientation that Carlos Queiroz has brought to the Black Stars, at the time that we have all lost hope in the Black Stars, at the time that we did not even consider the Black Stars to make any impact. We even failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations and the likes. But look at the performance of the Black Stars at the echelon, at the world stage now. It's quite significant that we need to also look at the lower side of our teams, the under 17, the under 20s, under 23s, and make sure that the glory that's attached to these teams in the past can be sustained and can be revived, so that the teams, Ghana, as we know as the Brazil of African football, find its space within world football as it existed in the past. We've made some names. The DIU, Asamoah Gyan, John Mensah, Papo, and all those things.
Okay.
Razak Pimpong was my best player because the striker who scores the only goals in important matches. You know, when he came to the Black Stars, crucial goals. So Razak Pimpong is one of my favorite players.
So who is our Razak Pimpong now?
Razak Pimpong now is the Irechi.
Okay.
Irechi is our Razak Pimpong now.
At least there's hope.
There's hope, and certainly we know that going forward we are going to make a lot of stars out of the team that we have. We should support them diligently as the people of Ghana with a common destiny to ensure that they are marketing Ghana. This is a corporate brand they are giving to the corporate Ghana, and that we must all be diligent and support them. Absolutely. And I love how the people of Ghana are wearing the Ghana JC all along.
Okay.
When you move along the streets of Ghana, you see the JCs all over.
Yes,
and
that's
true. Yes, people are cashing into
football economy. That's true. And everywhere you go on the streets, anywhere in the world, if nobody knows anything about Ghana, dear, but the Black Stars in the World Cup, absolutely. Kwame, I'll pick your thoughts on this.
Oh, my thoughts. I think I largely share in the position taken by my brother. And to wish the Black Stars well today. I am not a pessimist, so I don't go into watching the game thinking we are going to draw or lose. I'm always very positive that we are going to win. And I've always supported the Black Stars. That's the only team I support. Before, I used to support Chelsea because of Michael Essien, which is still Black Stars anyway.
Yeah.
And now I support Manchester City because of Semenyo.
Okay.
And so my biases are always with the Black Stars. And I'm very confident that they will prove their doubters wrong, and demonstrate to the whole world that we are a country of great passion and love for football. And we've demonstrated that, in many of the World Cup tournaments that we've attended. Indeed, I just simply want to say that if you have watched some of the matches, it would tell you that, I don't know whether it is deliberate on the part of FIFA, but some of the referees are so biased towards the African countries. It's unfortunate. And one that was demonstrably clear was the match with England. And I was complaining, I was sitting with my friend and I said, why is it that, at every point when there's a struggle for football, for the ball, and the English player falls, automatically
he notices
what is that? So it was clear that there's some agenda against African countries. But a tsunami is happening this year. I'm saying this on this national widely covered platform that an African country would win the World Cup.
This year.
This year. You see,
and it's your pick your own country.
Look, you were talking about Portugal. Portugal has no team. No team. Take it from me. No team. Portugal, no team. Look, the strategy the coach used was to play defensive, offensive in the England match. If we had opened up and the defense was that good, they could go and come, we would have scored England. England doesn't have defense.
It would have been a risk.
No. That you see, but that's your point. That's your problem. You see, you always think that Africans or Ghanaians. No, hold on, respectfully. You express your view. You express your view. I said I'm a very optimistic person. I'm not a pessimist.
Okay.
And I'm saying that if the coach had decided to play all out, we would have scored England. England doesn't have defense. Look, Guehi, I watched Guehi. Yes, Guehi, and then Konsa. He was the one who even.
Not the best partners on the day, though.
Yes. And then O'Reilly. Okay, one of my favorite defenders. Yes, but because they play for different, So it is not really a team that has, but they have the wingers, they have the attackers. Okay. So that is it. If you look at Portugal really and truly, look at how they've been struggling.
They've not been the best.
They've not been the best. You see, so let's not even Brazil. Even Brazil. Brazil doesn't have defense.
Less convincing.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Kwame.
So I'm simply saying that if you look at the strength of Morocco, if you look at the strength, even Senegal was surprised. They are disgracing me. Because if you look at the strength of Morocco, but you see, must we always wash our dirty linen in public? Is it all about the money? Play for glory sometimes. Play for glory. Because if you win the World Cup today, the benefits will far outweigh the little perks that you are looking for. But Africans, we don't play for glory. We always play for our pockets. Okay? It's like, look, when Neymar was named. And okay, well, let me wrap up on this.
Yes.
When Neymar was mentioned, did you see the excitement? Because he thought he was going to miss out. That tells you the kind of passion and love that people have for their national teams. And they know that they're extremely competitive. And once you are called upon to represent your country, it's the highest pride any footballer would
So for
would
even
get.
this team, patriotism is dwindling for you?
For the Black Stars?
Yes, this current crop of Black Stars.
Look, initially I had my doubts. And let me be very honest. I had my doubt initially. Not because I did not believe in the competencies that individually they had. But it's because of, sometimes there's some friction, unnecessary friction. You see, who is supposed to do this, who's supposed to do that, I was here before you, you are outshining me, and all of those things. But I think it is also, what we are seeing now, settling the matter, is the disposition of the coach. See, the coach is now like a father figure who is bringing all of them together to say that, look, you are playing for your country, you're not playing for individual glory. And so I think that is what is shaping the mental fortitude of these players, which is why they are playing the way they are playing. Because first, Jordan Ayew, albeit as a very, very good player, sometimes as players you have your day, you do not have your day. But Jordan Ayew now appears to be playing according to plan. You see, appears to be playing according to plan. People are now even saying, oh, Charlie, the guy was placed there for a specific role, and he delivered. But it is because of the supervision by the coach, which is why we are seing the results we are seeing. And I wish them all the best. And like my brother, 2-0. We'll score Croatia 2-0. Yeah, 2-0.
With the analysis there,
today Semenyo will get a goal. Semenyo will get a goal. And the other goal, I don't know who it will come from, but Semenyo will get a goal today.
Prophet Kwame.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Sai Kwapong, let me take your thoughts.
Good morning once again. Let me also issue a disclaimer that the fact that I'm not in the Black Stars jersey doesn't mean that I am not an enthusiastic supporter of the Black Stars. Some of us didn't get the memo. But having said that, I think it's quite an exciting time. In the lead up, though, to the World Cup, once in a while I used to get worried that when you read some of the commentary on social media or some of the public conversations, you get the sense that the full support for the Black Stars wasn't there. And so I used to worry about that. But once the competition began, and especially once we beat Panama in that last minute of the game, it's nice to see that we are coming around, we're supporting the Black Stars, because they always used to be a rallying point, for the nation. So it's good that we are getting excited, and I look forward to
the game tonight. What's your prediction for the game tonight, though?
I think I'll go with Kwame 2-0.
Hey, the confidence on this table is high. I like it. But Isaac will wrap up for us.
Something that has been eating my mind, if I may, respectfully. Okay. If I may. There's one thing that we always do consistently with our field, and I think we should depart from it. This thing about always glorifying others and excluding others. So, for instance, Benjamin Asare is doing very well, but then people say, "Oh, Atizigi is done." You don't do that. When you do that, you are creating a division. All right, you are creating a division. Please, we should stop this. And then people go and post the Jordan Ayew's picture and then lambasting it. We should stop these things because they see it, they read it, and these are emotions. People are playing with emotions. The second thing I want to talk about is that I'm extremely happy the way now it appears the love is back, and I have had conversations with people who have concluded even that it doesn't matter how far we go. They just love the fact that we are there. Okay. And they also love the fact that we have represented correctly. And people are taking pride in the national anthem again. You remember?
I saw the video.
You know the videos. Yes. People are
foreigners singing our national anthem.
I don't know, but I don't know whether you've noticed. Like there's some patriotism that is fast creeping back into our country, and I'm very excited about it. Honestly, I am truly excited about it.
I mean, this is a time we're talking about reparations, what happened.
And again, we are not politicizing it.
Yes.
For the first time in the world.
We are not politicizing. Somebody is saying that. Somebody is not saying that we are winning because NDC is in power.
No prophet is predicting that. Hey.
No, but we are playing Philadelphia.
Okay.
You know that. We are playing Philadelphia.
Okay.
And there's a prophet.
Philadelphia.
I don't want to get it.
Why is that what? Is that we are winning?
The minister went there. I mean, before they went to and he said our last game is going to be Philadelphia. And the church is Philadelphia. So we have to pray. And the last games are against Croatia and Philadelphia. So, maybe Philadelphia Nyame will help.
Okay. We need Philadelphia Nyame.
Okay. So like I said, the permutations are clear. Win, and you probably get to top the group, but again, we'd have to wait for that result between Panama and England. And the games are being played simultaneously at the same time. That's the law of the game. Every final group game is being played simultaneously. So when Ghana is playing, definitely England and Panama will be playing as well. When we finish top of that group, we are likely to face the third place team in other groups, especially Group K, Group I, Group J. We finish second, we'll be playing against the second runner-up in Group K. We'll be playing in Canada. Finish third, which I highly doubt. We'll be facing the group winner in Group K. That's either Portugal and Colombia. So it's our own fate to decide. But the good news is Ghana is already through to the round of 32. And I will care less about some of these things. But it's always important to find the right route to the final. They'll tell you because there
are many dangerous routes.
It's a tournament. And just to touch on what my boss Kwame said regarding the coach's approach to that England game. And yes, some have said that seeing the defense of England, Ghana should have gone, out and played attack. It's a strategic move. Absolutely. See, you need to be careful. And this is a coup that came in days to the World Cup. And when he came, the Black Stars have been shipping 13 goals in the matches we played in the year 2026, and then going back to October 2025. So it's a team that has a high concession rate, like a team that has its defense breached all the time. So the immediate job for him was to bring stability in that defense. So, and unfortunately for him, he had England and Croatia in his group. These are very tough opponents. So that first game against Panama, he realized, yes, he opened up, but he had a lot of lapses in our defense. Panama, if they were clinical in that first game, he could have scored us in the first half even. Okay. So the second strategy, it's about getting to the next stage. It doesn't matter how you get it. Get the result, which is the 3 point. That's the most important thing. Whether you play so he decided to pack the bus and it worked to perfection. England has had 3 shots on target out of the 19 shots they attempted, which is the fewest they've had since 2002. So we did a lot of good
historical damage.
A lot of good a lot of damage to that English team, and we frustrated them. And they have a I mean, Thomas Tuchel has a thing. His tactic is very simple. He gets us drawn from our own half, and he pounces or attacks the exposed behind that. That is being the principal tactic of Thomas Tuchel. But the Black Stars under Carlos Queiroz refused to take bait. We consciously stayed in shape. And that's how you saw that 4-5-1 damage. I don't want to get technical,
because,
but
yes, people didn't understand
but it was a move to get a victory. However, to avoid a defeat, not a victory per se, but avoid a defeat. However, because you're already on 3 points, you just need 1 point to cushion you to the next of the competition. So on that score, I think Thomas was. I said Thomas. I keep saying Thomas. Carlos was a masterclass in that regard. But moving on, I think Croatia. We can. I'm saying the same game approach, the same mentality. We can even get a victory, like my seniors are saying. If you open up a bit, yes, but it should be strategic.
Okay.
Yeah, it should
so
be strategic.
We do not drink or
swallow goals. Swallow goals. Yeah. Abdul Fatah.
Yes, and then Thomas
Asante.
It's because
Fatah didn't start in England though.
Yes.
He came off the bench. But
Thomas
did not start at all.
Because he didn't intend to play attacking game. No.
They are highly offensive.
You see, they are those guys. They are very offensive. The two of them, Semenyo in the middle, with either Jordan behind Semenyo or Jordan ahead of Semenyo. It's good. You see, that's why he played Inaki, because Inaki, if you watch how he plays, he's able to run to and fro.
Okay.
I was actually impressed with Inaki's performance the day. I was a bit worried why he was starting Inaki, but I was impressed.
I think, look, the coach is tactically strong.
Yeah, he's a.
Did you see the? I don't know whether it was.
It's a 4-5-1. Yes, 4-5-1. What he did was crowded the midfield. So let me just use the explanation. What he did was crowded the midfield. You know, when he crowded the midfield, and he sat Thomas Partey right in front of the defense, which was very strategic. And Thomas Partey at some point, you know, when he crowded the midfield, when the defenders move the wide areas, then he drops. So that's why Thomas won 4 out of 4 tackles. He made 5 clearances and 1 crucial block.
Yes. And so Thomas played with Yenchi and Kwesi. Anytime Yenchi moves,
Thomas listen.
Anytime Thomas moves,
it was strategic. Just to stifle the attack from Noni Madueke, Harry Kane was frustrated.
Yeah, he was frustrated.
He was. You people, you have all this in-depth knowledge, and our coach teams are suffering.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Isaac, you have to give me your prediction.
Oh, a slim victory.
It's your prediction, I'll believe.
A slim victory or a draw. No, because I know the coach. See, I know the coach. See, Thomas went to the 20. Carlos went to the 2021 AFCON with Egypt with Mohamed El Neni, Omar Mamouche, Salah. Played the whole tournament and went to the final by scoring only 4 goals. He played 3 times penalties. He doesn't like scoring. On pay gidi. His own is result now. Okay. Because his paymasters are going to hold him.
Coach Slim Victory.
Yes, Coach Slim Victory.
I like you. It's like me. I write exams to pass.
Not to talk.
Thank you so much, Isaac Tete. Look, love his analysis all the time. Get him on Radio Ghana. He'll be doing commentary and all the analysis and all the pundits, former Black Stars players, coaches, and all of that, so that you can understand what our chances are tonight. You'll be doing lots of discussions before tonight's game.
Ex-Voting Wanderers player. He will be one of our panelists. Myself and he will be the panelist.
Perfect. On GTV Sports Plus, you know that this is your hub for watching the World Cup, and we bring you all the games live alongside with all the commentaries. This is Current Agenda. We're back after the break.
Stay back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
As I said, on the 24th of June, 15 clear days. And that was why the Minister for Interior could confidently come out yesterday. And so if you observe, following her return, the communication was by the Minister for Communication. And that had a lot of controversy. And that is why the media kept pressing. And yesterday, when she was admitted into prison custody, that was when the Minister for Interior came out. We can again confirm that she is in the female prison of a medium prison installation. But we are not going to put the name of the facility out. We are not going to put the name of the facility out for the following reasons. One, our intelligence is that she went in under protest because her assurance was that they were not going to have her go into prison custody and that they were going to work around the clock to have the decision overturned so that she will have her liberty. It is only because of the public pressure that the government has decided to deliver her into prison custody. Our intel is also that they have also assured her that whichever is earlier, be it the public pressure coming down or the decision of the court coming out, she will be made to go out. And so we do not want to put the name of the facility out just to prevent the situation where they will come out and say that because of her security, they are moving her from the facility. We are keeping an eye on the situation and will continue to update the general public on this matter.
And this is Current Agenda. You just listened to Nana J. Bafwe, who is a member of Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, speaking on Madame Sedina Atiunu's whereabouts. And they said that she was not in prison custody until June 24. So the minority is challenging the government to show where she was. We're told that she went to the police hospital right after she landed in the country, and she was taken to Unsawam. But the minority is alleging that there was a 15-day delay in enforcing the court's judgment, and they addressed that press conference in Parliament yesterday or so. Let me begin with Afakwa on this. He's part of MPP's legal team. Afakwa.
Yeah, let me say a very good morning to yourself and to your cherished guest on this platform. It's been a long time I met Dr. Jalulu. Dr. Osei Kwapon and His Excellency Kwame Usudan. So I saw a V8 part. I think it's crashed. I don't know if it's reported to the police because all accidents must be reported to the police.
Accident?
The rear right side of the vehicle But you need to report to the MTT.
That's in my own house.
You are a lawyer. You know that all accidents must be reported to the police.
Accidents in my house.
But it was bought in that way.
Don't mind me.
This one, it's so telling.
It's good you've told me, because yesterday I was reversing and it was dark.
Right.
So I hit the rest. Yeah. So okay, all right. Thank you. I'll sort it out.
It means that you need to even test your eye.
My friend. You see, his Tundra he's not even registered his Tundra.
Yeah. He's driving a DV.
Yeah, he's still driving the DV. That's why they don't allow him driving into the compound.
You are giving legal advice to
you are driving DV after 2 years. Illegal.
Me.
Oh.
Check the year the car was imported into this country.
When was it imported?
Okay, let's.
But you have.
When was it imported?
Your car is accidental. You must report.
No. You are driving a
Are there any car issues as far? Is it the car that brought that said that they were close? Because I don't understand.
And you see where he has parked. And just at the entrance.
Please.
So, what is it? This is the Rambo in the. This is the Rambo in the. How did the AG pronounce it? The Rambo in the Rambo. Shaking the foundation of our democracy and our rule of law. Ghana is a democratic nation, and in our criminal jurisprudence, once a sentence is handed down to you in court, the next moment you are transported to the prison cell to serve your sentence, to begin serving your sentence. Madam Sedinam Tamakulu's conviction and sentencing, which was handed down to her, the 10-year jail sentence that was handed down to her as part of the trial in absentia. The nation spent a lot of resources to get her back into the Republic to begin serving her sentence. Talk of the extradition applications and the processes that led to the United States bringing her down to the Republic of Ghana to begin serving her sentence. It is quite unconscionable to hear from the mighty minority addressed by my respected learned senior, Lawyer Bafwewa of Menchia South, that when Madam Sedinam Tamakulu arrived in the country on June 9th, 2026, she spent 15 days outside the cell of the Prison Service of Ghana, and that the Prison Service, the National Security, the Attorney General Ministry of Justice, the Interior Ministry have failed to disclose to the people of this country where Madam Sedinam Tamakulu was between the 9th and the 24th of June 2026. This is quite dangerous. We are creating a class society where some people are seen as first-class citizens and they are seen to be above the laws of our country. It is clearly interfering with a lawful court order, and not just any court, but a high court order. We have only one high court in Ghana, and Madam Tamakulu was convicted and sentenced by the High Court of the Republic of Ghana. And if a judicial order that we have spent taxpayers' money to cause her extradition, and the extradition took us almost close to 2 years before we got her into the Republic. The people that sells water, the trotro driver that pays taxes, Motiti, yourself, the tax you pay from your meager salary that you take home, Professor Jalulu, Dr. Kwapong, my brother Kwame, whose car I'm even complaining that he needs to even repair it. Paying taxes for us to run this country. And we believe that, yes, our laws, our courts have pronounced someone guilty, convicted and sentenced the person, and we need to bring the person down. Spending taxpayers, and they need to even tell us how much they spent on extraditing this woman to this country. I will trigger an RTI to cause that disclosure. And that the woman is in Ghana. And yet we don't know where the woman was. When Agrada was sent to Nsamom, everybody knew Agrada was in Nsamom. Who was not aware as to where Agrada was spending her sentence?
You expected a pomp and pageantry display, cameras, paparazzi.
I'm not for that. But at least, once questions have been raised, those questions need to be answered. For Christ's sake, the prison service has a corporate affairs directorate. The Ghana Police Service have a corporate public affairs directorate. The information minister and spokesperson of the president, my brother, Felix Kwasi Ofusu, updated us a short, and the updates stopped. It was just recently when they, according to lawyer Bafor, when the woman was transported to the Nsawam, a medium security installation, that the interior minister was bold enough to say that the woman is serving her sentence with the prison service. But between 9th and the 24th, where was the woman?
She was in hospital, so I hear.
Which hospital?
Police hospital.
Which hospital?
That's what I see. I see that she was taken to the police hospital before she was moved to the medium.
So this communication is coming from who?
Well, there's a news article I am seeing.
A news
online.
article,
yes.
but not official communication.
No.
So you cannot presume it to be regular because it's not coming from a statutory body. Okay. It cannot be said to be regular. This is not official communication. Because we have official communication. If she was sent to the police hospital, there should be an official communication to that effect.
But you're also aware that she has not been well, just like the case of the former finance minister, who that is taken into, recognition during the case.
You know, America will never extradite you when your condition is not fit for purpose to be extradited into your country. It is part of the extradition rules. Okay. Read the statute. Last time I sent you the code of the United States of America. Go through it. You have to make sure that you are fair and sound before you are moved. Okay, and that so at the time, at the time that she was being moved from the United States of America to Ghana, she was fit. They should tell us.
Okay.
Whether she was conveyed in a wheelchair into the aircraft that transported her to Ghana. But certainly, we all know what pertains in this republic. Is it because that she's coming from the majority or the ruling party that she's being treated with kid gloves? What is the story about? These are the lingering questions that the people of Ghana want to understand.
Okay.
And I believe that it is quite strange and it is quite a worrying trend. If myself or my brother Kwame were handed down a conviction and a sentence in the court, we will not even turn our eyes to see what is happening in our bedrooms. The next movement is that the pickup trucks or the Black Maria or the coaster bus will move you. You know, have you seen the prison service coaster bus with burglar proofs around it? Will convey you to the cell that you'll be serving your sentence, right from the court premises. I remember during the 2012 election petition, when the Venerable Kojo Uswe John was asked or was arraigned before the courts on a contempt application. At the time his hearing was ongoing, we were carrying his towel, sponge, and his small luggage because if the court passed sentence, like a custodial sentence on him, he wouldn't go back home. So he needs to go with his medications and a few stuff, his brush and other small stuff. I, myself and Atifa were handling those things. Within the presence of the court, we had those materials prepared that in the unlikely event that the court says that go in, you can go with your things because you will not be allowed to go home and pick your items. So why are people being treated as first-class citizens?
And as from a legal point of view, what does it mean that 15 days, which means that 15 days could have been part of the sentence that she should have been serving in prison, that she has not, if it is proven that she has not been serving during that lapse or period that you can't account for, what does it mean legally?
So we will, I know the minority is doing some work behind the scenes on this, and we will check when the warrant was signed and when his sentencing began, and to see whether or not the said 15 days, the alleged unserved 15 days is included in the same thing, so that we know what necessary legal steps to take as far as these things are concerned. Because in a country governed by laws, people should not be treated as first-class citizens beyond others. It's a dangerous precedent that we are creating. We are creating a class society where some people perceived to be within a certain class are treated in a certain manner, and others outside that class, outside that bracket, are treated like non-entities. With celestial respect, once we believe that the constitution of our country is supreme and equality before the law, we are all equal before the law, subject to certain protocols, because you cannot be said to be equal with the president when you are in traffic. Because at the time when the traffic light is red, the president can drive through. Okay. Because, because of the protocol arrangements and the things that happen. But quite apart from those things, we are all the same. Okay. We are all the same and be treated equally. Point well made. So we are not enthused with why Madam Sedinam Tamakulu, upon all the resources expended by the states to get her extradited into the Republic of Ghana to begin sentencing her 10-year jail term, was treated with kid gloves. Okay. And spent a whopping 15 days outside the cells of the prison. Which you're yet to find out, and you say you're going to trigger an RTI. When Wuntumi and the likes were arrested, and even at the time their health conditions were deteriorating, they were sent to the NIB clinic at Kaukudi, the BNI clinic. Okay. Because they will tell you, I have been in court on several occasions where accused persons, when even they are not well, and you are praying for bail, the security, the police will tell you, or the prosecution will tell you that yes, we have the capacity to treat them because we have the BNI clinic. Okay, point made. So if there's a BNI clinic, where was this woman taken to? Because even in the BNI clinic, point made that medical condition is not an excuse. It's not an excuse because the facilities have, how do we call it? Health facilities that they treat incarcerated or people in lawful custody. They take them through certain processes. So once you are within those processes and you trigger even information, they can update you to say that, oh, the person is here because of her condition or his condition. She is being treated or he is being treated in this facility. All right. But even within that, when the medics certify that you are well, they will move you right from the hospital bed to your cell. Okay. Some of the people are even handcuffed to the hospital bed. Hospital bed. When you go in there, even they have hooks on the ceiling that they can even hang your hands and even those kind of things are there. All right. So why this kind of treatment? Thank you. Your point is well made, Kwame. Well, thank you very much, Maltiti. And similarly, let me extend my greetings to all our viewers. I've not been on this platform for a number of days. I was quite engaged. Okay. I had to attend to a very important matter. I see lots of work with the Lands and Mines Watch Ghana. Yeah, that's one aspect of it. Okay. But also, I'm in school, so I had to undertake some academic work. Before I proceed to speak to the matter, with your greatest indulgence, if I may do this 1 second thing in honor of my brother and friend, the boss of National Signals Brew, Dr. George Atta, who unfortunately lost his father, I believe last week or so. And the 1 week observation will be in Brekum, coming Friday, the 3rd of July 2026, at Ahimfie Hotel, Royal Unity Lodge in Brekum. And the time will be from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so all friends and sympathizers should find a way of going to support our brother in these very difficult times. It's not easy losing your mother, I believe, some few months back. And subsequent to that, you lose your father. That's quite a big blow. I've lost both parents, so I know how melancholic that could be. Now, having said that, let's look at the Sedina Tamakulu issue. I think it is not in doubt that she has been extradited to Ghana. Similarly, it is not in doubt that she was extradited from the United States to Ghana owing to the fact that she had some reasons, whether justifiable or not, to continue to stay in the United States of America, for which reason the process began and terminated in absentia. The question that was at the heart or at the center of the narration was when the sentencing should begin. I believe that was the most important aspect of the conversation that all of us were interested in. Now, there were two sides or two schools of thought in relation to that. Others said, well, it should begin the very moment the sentencing is handed down, which is at a time when the judge made
the sentencing pronouncement. That is when sentencing should begin. Others are saying, well, you, in a matter of criminal prosecutions, you have to convict a human being and sentence a human being. And that human being must be present, because then who are you going to put into cells or into prison? So people said no, it should begin upon her arrival. So that was the binary conversation that had engulfed the narration of Senator Tamaklu's conviction or sentencing, right? Now, we moved beyond that periphery and found ourselves in this confusing arena of unsettled conclusion that she was not put into prison custody, because the records from the minority suggests otherwise. And my brother Afuakwa goes on to say that when you made a point of order with your intervention, that my brother said that, but was it an official communication?
At the police, police hospital?
Was it an official communication emanating from government? To the contrary, that indeed she had begun her sentencing when she arrived in Ghana. She said that, but whatever source that you got your information, because I know Manasseh Azure was the one who put it out.
Yes.
And he is questioning your source. I'm also questioning the minority source. I'm questioning the minority source. Are they also the official communicators of government? Or do they now communicate on behalf of the judiciary? Let's not do this. You are stating your facts. And facts are best placed if there is evidence to support your facts. You cannot just come and put out facts without necessarily backing your facts with evidence.
Manasseh has evidence that she was in the police hospital.
I read his statement. He was emphatic. Emphatic. So if you are saying that that was not an official communication, then what was the basis for the minority to hold a press conference to put out these unverifiable facts?
Because the official communication is lacking.
So we'll come to the official communication. Now, having even said that, and my brother knows that Article 15 of the Constitution still subsists whether a person has been convicted or not. The humane treatment of all persons is enshrined in the Constitution and is protected in the Constitution. So when somebody is being convicted or when somebody has been sentenced, the medical conditions of the person is always taken into consideration. He knows it. Even pregnant women, he knows it, that even a woman, when a woman is convicted, there's a procedure that the woman must be taken through to verify whether she's pregnant or she's not pregnant. He knows it. Even the Prison Service Medical Conditions Act is there. That the medical conditions, by reason of the fact that Ghana is signed onto some UN charters, is always, of prime relevance. So they consider, all those considerations are made. Now, if it is clear to all of us that the reason why she even left this country in the first place was to seek medical care, all right, and that you claim that she would not have been extradited if she was not cleared medically to be able to come to Ghana. What are you suggesting, therefore, that the person who has underlying medical conditions, those underlying conditions will not resurface in the event that she's not getting better medical care? Is that what you are suggesting? But that the mere fact that the U.S. cleared that she was medically fit to fly from the United States of America, does it negate the fact that she could also be sick at this particular moment? You don't have those facts. You are just conjecturing. So if she was and is medically unfit, I believe she's Ghanaian, she's here. Where is she running to? So let's even assume, without any admission, that the 15 days that they are talking about is actually a truism. Let's agree, okay, to disagree. That's actually a truism. Are we saying that those 15 days cannot be added?
Well,
what is this? What is this?
You get the concern because the minority has been talking about how government handles its own officials or appointees.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I have deliberately refrained from speaking particularly on the Ken Ofori-Atta's matter, because every time I speak, it's in support of Ken. So I've deliberately refrained from speaking to that. The point is that he who comes to Equity must always come with his hands washed. You cannot come with dirty hands to Equity and expect that you will not be greeted with dirty hands. So what position are you really taking, right? In this particular instance, the government can take solace and comfort in the fact that it is not mere rhetoric. They've actually acted, because they could have decided to also not act.
You mean by ensuring
yes, that? Yes.
But this is something that the minority has been involved. Yes.
No, please listen. They triggered the process. I am saying that why? He knows that even upon sentencing, you can appeal. You can file a notice of appeal, and in that appeal, you can also apply to the court for bail pending appeal. So there are options available.
Okay.
And if they didn't want to, go through with the conviction and the sentencing, they would have found a way around this. And I'm saying that the person says she's unwell, she's medically unfit. Let's interrogate that. Is it true that she's medically unfit? Which hospital was she sent to? Did she get the necessary care? Is she okay now to be transported to
the people who are supposed to tell us if she's unwell or are they independent enough to tell us that?
So now I come to the why this has become a challenge. And it has become a challenge because consistently we have admonished government to be proactive. You see, communication gap creates an avenue for political miscommunication. So if you have decided not to speak to facts, if you have decided to sit aloof and not communicate what is happening to the good people of Ghana, people will conjecture. And in conjecturing, they may put out misstatements. So please, government communications, what's the position?
Office of Government Communications
must be up and doing, including my wife, Amma Pratt. They must be up and doing. They must always consistently ensure that the Ghanaian is fed with information. Because if you don't feed us with information, we'll come and sit here, just as my brother has conveniently done this morning. Come and put out,
Because Afua made the point. No, but she speaks for the vice president, and the vice president is part of government.
We're talking about prison service.
But when the lady was extradited, did the government machinery not issue statements? So what are you talking about? So they are best placed to also issue statements.
At the time, she had been handed over to the prison service.
I'm saying that this is a matter of relations. This is a matter of national interest. All of us have interest in it. And I'm saying that the mouthpiece of government. And by the way, let me make this point clear and end on this note, so that my seniors can come in. That this whole rigid mental conception of what government is ought to change. That we think that because it is an NDC government, that government belongs to only NDC people, we must change it. That is why Afuakwa is finding it very difficult to agree with this very infantile assumption based on facts that the body that has to communicate to the good people of Ghana is the government spokesperson.
Okay. But you're saying that government is not just an NDC government. It means that the minority is part of government. It's not unfounded. It's not unfounded that they do the press conference to call issues out. And you have alluded to the fact that government communication is lacking.
Multity, there's a difference. You can put out facts, eliciting some responses. You don't make statements of facts and seeking to suggest that that is what it is.
So if
you say that is what it is, because they are assuming
that for 15 days,
yes,
she's missing.
And they are even denying you. You listen to my brother Afuakwa. Afuakwa is a very intelligent. He knows exactly what he's saying. He said that the BNI hospital is there. He also said that he doesn't even believe that the 15 days she was actually seeking medical care. The reason being that the woman was cleared in the United States before she was brought here. So he doesn't even believe in the narrative that the woman is medically unfit. And I'm saying that violates Article 15 of the Constitution.
Okay, all right. Thank you both. Thank you both. Just a minute. I'll come back to you. I'll give you a minute to react to Dr. Sarpong. I have to manage the time this morning. Okay, Afakwa, I'll give you a minute. Doc, I apologize. I'll give Afakwa just a minute.
We are in this country, and we have two separate departments. At the extradition level, it is state to state. So at the time the woman arrived in this country, she was in the custody of the state because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, together with the Home Affairs and the Attorney General's office, were in concert as far as the extradition were concerned. So at the time she arrived, it was the state that needs to give a publication, official publication, that the woman has arrived in the country and has been handed over to the appropriate agency of state, required, mandated, or clothed with the jurisdiction to keep her as far as the serving of her sentence is concerned. That is the prison service.
Right.
And now we have raised legitimate concerns. Some issues have come up. The issues are that, one, the woman has not been in the prison cell for 15 days. Two, the woman was only sent to a medium security installation on the 24th of June. These are statements of facts. And once there has not been any contrary opinion from
an official
from an official source, i.e. the prison service, not Minister for Government Communication, Government Information Minister, but the prison service.
Okay.
Heavily led by the Director General, Madame Bafuboni, who is also a lawyer. Patience Bafuboni, who is also a lawyer. That they should communicate to us the whereabouts of Madam Sednam Tamaklo between the 9th and the 24th of June. Once there is no contrary opinion as to what the minority in Parliament has put out, that is said to be the facts. It's a statement of facts. And Kwame is talking about appeal and those kind of things. You see, the presumption of innocence and Article 19(2) of our Constitution is that a person is presumed innocent until he has pleaded or she has pleaded guilty or has been found guilty. Under the circumstances, the woman was found guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Okay.
And she can appeal. It is her right. But the time for appeal has elapsed.
Okay.
She needs to seek leave of the court to extend time. I'm coming. She needs to seek leave of the court to extend time. And he was talking about bail pending appeal. That would be quite strange. That would be quite strange. And I'm looking at the jurisprudence that, yes, the courts of Ghana set this precedent for all of us. One, when you read section 96(5), and 96 says of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act of 1930, it states that in granting bail, the court should ensure whether or not you appear to stand trial. That is the cardinal reason.
Okay. Physically appear to stand trial.
Appear to stand trial. This is the person who was granted bail, given permission to travel to seek medical care, and she absconded, became a fugitive. Kenneth Orata has never been arrested. He has never been granted bail. You are a lawyer. He has never been arrested. He has never been granted bail. He's never before in a court. So why do you put this two together? It does not wash. This was a woman who was taken through due process. After taking the money, but you remember the Obatampa Savings and Loans, microfinance, where the woman at the Batrona Shell filling station took the 500,000 Ghana cedis into her car boot and absconded without returning the money.
Okay. Afakwa, you've made your point. Afakwa, you've made your point. I took Dr. Kwakwa's time. So, Kwame.
We are Committee of Reading Men, and it is important to make this point. Just 1 second. That the reason why the axe falls on the government's communications machinery to communicate is because she served in a national capacity. So it is not a matter that is that should be yes.
No, I don't know why Kwame keeps
she served, so she was she served
now the government managing the prison.
Hold on. She served under administration. So the government must be interested.
So President Mama is the Director General of Civil Service.
No, I'm saying that the government must be interested.
Ultimately,
the
the state institution should have communicated this And that's what's causing the conjecturing. Thank
Professor,
you, Kwame.
Professor Tanko is here.
Let me introduce Dr. Jalilu Atiku, who is lecturer Political Science Department, University of Ghana as well. He's joined us at the table. Doc, good morning to you. I hope you're well. And just joining us now also is, I wanted to mention that he was going to be present at the table but was not yet here, is Rashid Tanko Computer. He is CEO of GIFEC and Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Mr. Tanko Computer, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Professor, I call him counsel, but okay, I can add a professor now.
You are a senior, so don't worry, see very soon.
Dr. Sai Kwapong, to give you your time on this agreeably, this matter of contention as to the right institution to have communicated the whole process from when she was extradited to now, to the minority seeking to ask questions about her whereabouts.
So one of the things that I have been trying to understand in terms of the minorities' concern about the 15-day lapses, what are they actually alleging, right? What is the key interest in that 15-day gap, right? Okay. If it's about, preferential treatment, for example, sure. We are seeing public concerns about the rule of law. Okay. So if you look at data from the Afrobarometer survey, for example, on the question of ordinary people, getting punished versus, quote unquote, people in an official position, there's a huge gap there. And so, given the public interest in this case, you don't want to be seen as sort of reinforcing that public perception. Okay. So if it is a question of preferential treatment, and that is why the minority is really interested in what happened within these 15 days, I can understand why these questions will come up. But I'm still not sure exactly what those 15 days presence or absence is driving the minority. Because even if she wasn't in prison custody for those 15 days, I am sure that the clock started ticking not when she arrived in the country. I believe the clock would start ticking in terms of her 10-year sentence the day she actually is committed to whatever prison institution she goes in there. Okay. I mean, I know respectfully he mentioned the fact that the way the criminal process works is once convicted, right, straight, you're saying you are taken away to prison. And we've all seen that. But administratively too, there could also be extenuating circumstances, right, as to why certain things have to happen before you begin that sentence. That is why public administrators have discretion within the law to say that whilst this is the laid down procedure, there are some times that you don't anticipate all the particulars of a given case. And so when those particulars of a given case arises, that seems to deviate from the ideal, then you have to make room, right, to be able to accommodate some of those things. The key thing here for me is information. And when information is missing, you leave room then for people to fill in the gaps of that missing information. This, for me, simply goes away or can simply be resolved if those who are responsible for giving us updates on this highly public interest case would simply issue a statement that says she arrived on this day. These are the steps the state took between when she arrived and that 24th or whatever exact date is when she was sent to prison to begin her sentence, right? But in the absence of that information, then as my brother Kwame said, you open it to conjecture, to speculation, to all kinds of things.
And Dr. Sakwapa, because you mentioned the Afrobarometer and you mentioned other data which is instrumental in every outlook, you look at corruption, that if a high official is treated the same way as an ordinary person, it deters others from even engaging in any scandal like Madam Atieno has found herself in. You don't agree? And that's why the minority will raise these questions, believing to mirror the opinions of the ordinary citizens.
Yes, and let's say once she arrived in the country and the decision was not to let her serve her sentence, right? Or government took some active steps to shield her from accountability, then definitely that question or that concern is legitimate. What I keep going back to is that in that 15-day period, so far, nothing seems, at least in my opinion, seems to suggest that she was being shielded or protected from being held accountable. But when you don't have information, that gap gets to be filled by all kinds of other information, which is why it becomes very important then for those responsible for ensuring that she began her sentence. Like I said, it's just a simple accounting of these are all the processes we went through, and here is the basis for why it took us the 15 days before committing her to where the news report said she is yesterday.
What impression do you think this creates for the ordinary citizen if it seems to appear this lack of information coming from the government because of all the things that a government would have said to do, and because of the likely fact that there has been corruption of some sort?
Yes, and you see, when the information is not forthcoming, you leave citizens to start wondering, right, that are we serious about the fight against corruption? Is it that because her sympathies is with the ruling party, that you leave people to start speculating, reading motives and things like that. You see, overall, we have this administrative culture in Ghana where we feel like less information is better than more information. And there are times where public officials, not even just your elected or appointed ones, but even regular bureaucrats, feel a need to protect some kinds of very basic information that baffles me as to what are you... I won't mention...
Are you hoarding this information?
Precisely. I won't mention the agency, but this is years ago when I was working on my dissertation. I needed reports from a public agency. These are reports that were online, except that the most recent, like 3 or 4 years, were not online. So I go to the agency and I say, oh, I need it for these additional years. And the bureaucrat interacting with me, the first question he's asking me is, but what do you even need this information for? And when we give you information, you go and sit on Joy News and you start. And again, this is a very basic report. It's not like I was asking for some state-guarded national security secrets.
I was going to ask that maybe it borders on national security, but no.
Exactly. So that is what ends up fueling all manner of
so for you, do we recognize this lack and that there's something that needs to be done about it? Because that's what triggered the RTI by the previous administration, which lots of journalists and even now the both political device used to request for information. Is that enough?
And you would actually think that RTI would force a change in this bureaucratic attitude towards the need for information. But if you look at all the reports that come out in terms of the number of RTI cases that are filed, how some of these state institutions still even resist and deny RTI requests, the fines that are imposed on them. We need to get to a point where we should be able to look at some information and say, the state would not collapse
if this information
is
given.
Shared.
I still think that, and I'm sure that you agree, that it still borders on the accountability because people are watching their back. That what if this information comes back to haunt me because maybe I did not take my eyes and dot my I's and cross my T's because of, so maybe work and how we do work and how we're supposed to do it excellent. Because if you're doing your work well, I mean, why should you be afraid of questions asked? Thank you. Doc, let me come to Dr. Jalilu. Doc, what do you make of this situation?
Well, thank you, Titi, and good morning to you and then the viewers. What I would say is that this has become an issue because of the person involved, right? I mean, a public figure, someone who headed an important agency in this country, right? Other than that, it wouldn't have been any major issue, right? Now, so there are two, issues. The minority has made some allegations, right? And then we're having some other maybe responding from the other side. So in my view, so the expectation is that, this is someone who was convicted and then sentenced in absentia, isn't it?
Right.
Now, to get her extradited means that it's a government-to-government affair or state-to-state affair. So definitely from the United States, and then she was handed over to the Ghanaian officials, the Ghanaian officials, right? I believe that, and at that level, it means that the Attorney General and other will be very key, right, in receiving her from the other side. And I believe that Attorney General and other state institutions, they do not have any facility to host her, right, from that point. So definitely, that's where the other institutions like prison service or the police will be there to receive her, right? And I believe that when she arrived, she was not received by her family.
Okay.
So from that point, in my view, I think she was still in the custody of the state, right? And now the issue has to do with that she was not there for the first 15 days. So that was that's the whole thing. One, the minority race issue about preferential treatment. Like if it had been an ordinary person, would they have done this and then done that? So initially, we're expecting to hear maybe whether indeed she was not, in prison custody for the 15 days until, we picked up some information that she was at the hospital, in a hospital facility, right? So that also changed the narrative, because one, every human being is entitled to rights, and health is a major issue, right? So the issue is that, there could be, I'm sure that maybe if looking at the situation, the question is whether, like my brother said, that, in the first place, if it was that serious, she wouldn't have been
cleared by the U.S. officials.
Right? That is also a good thing. But another key thing we should also note is that health can relapse at any, a point in time, right? At my last travel time, there was someone who had major issue on the flight. So anything can happen. Okay. So once he had, health issues, right, and this, so the best thing to do is to prioritize the person's health.
So you're thinking that within these 15 days, something could have happened health-wise.
Yes, even from the flight, even at the time she was received, because we do not have any information, anything could have happened. And once they said that, the information is that from there, she was in a hospital. I think that so that
which was not officially communicated.
Yeah, so that is the gap, right? That is the gap. So the expectation is that being a public figure, this is a public interest matter. So I believe that the government should have responded. So the first thing was that we have received Stephen Makulu, in Ghana. So once she was not in at the prison facility, right, whatever, and was at the hospital, I think that it was necessary for that communication to have come from government. My brother was saying that maybe it should have come from the prison service, because we are still talking about the fact that it was the government that received her. Right. But even though the government would definitely work with the other institutions like the prison service. So even the government had come to give this information, I think that it would have helped to address some of the issues. Even though I believe that still minority would have raised the issue because it is a government, right? Now, but I do not know whether the prison service, by virtue of their practice, whether they normally
give communications on
this, like press conference and on other things.
They do? Okay.
Right. So, because, there have been instances where people held even in prison custody, right, because of health issues. You hear that they have been transported to either Kolebu or whatever.
Police hospital.
Most of them, life, no matter what the situation, whatever the crime the person is alleged to have committed or committed, you have to prioritize the person's life first. So I think that it's not. I do not see it as any major issue. Once, the health situation was why she was not in prison custody. I think that.
Do you think
that
it will be
that.
in the right direction if it is found out that yes, she did not serve that 15 days, and so it is added to the sentence for her to be able to ensure that it is completed?
No, but once, in my view, once she was convicted and then sentenced in absentia, when she arrived, she was not received by her family.
Okay.
She was received by the state. So in my view, I still think that
the 15 days was part of the sentence,
still within the sentence.
Okay.
I mean, the period, right? So I do not think that that will be counted as. So another second, so if you take the 15 days, why did the state receive it? So does it mean that at that 15 days, is it a new arrest or whatever? I do not think. So in my view, I think that that 15 days is still part. Other than that, then how do you account for, if the 15 days is not part of the sentencing, then who should be, responsible for the 15 years that she has been in the custody of the custody of the state? So I think that that shouldn't be any major issue. I have also read, previously about some lawyers arguing that the sentencing started from when
she was still in the US
in absentia and that kind of. So that I think is within. And then
Kwame
to continue there.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I think that so once now, if everything is okay, I think she's now back in the listen, and I think she's having some bail, pending bail or something. Sorry, is it appeal or something?
Appeal.
Right. So I think that is now where the next listen is asked, because once she was sentenced, because this is the person who was permitted by the court to travel for medical reasons, and she could not return, right? Maybe she has a case why she didn't return, and then, she was convicted because she was not there. So I think that definitely the court is, high courts are human rights courts, right? And there are so many things. I believe that if the case that the lawyers will make, before, the judge, they will look at the situation. Because once, it's not like the person was here, convicted and maybe something, but she was outside the convicted sentence in absentia.
All right.
Right, because she was not there. So there could be good reasons why, and then she also went because of the health reasons. Right. So I think that we will see what the court will say, and it will also provide us with some reason for the future, so that in future when we have similar situations, we know how to address them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Doc. And because the representative of government has joined us at the table now, Council Tanku Computer, I would go to him swiftly to understand. And Council, the general sentiment, if I can say that, is that there's been a lack of communication when Madam Sedina landed in this country, and the minorities alleged 15 days gap, which is supposed to be part of the sentencing, and do not know where she is or where she was during that 15 days gap.
Very well. Let me say good morning to you and my co-panelists, and let me apologize for coming. Coming late. I was held up somewhere. You see, I'm surprised this is a news item, in the sense that if it was coming from civil society group, Prof here and his group, we'll have time to respond to them appropriately. But where it's coming from? Is it not? Is it the minority?
Yes,
they have no moral right. They have no moral justification, no moral right, no moral standing. I don't know why you are giving them reference disease to talk about matters of this nature. What kind of thing is it? Is that the kind of minority we are going to have?
The minority is supposed to hold government accountable.
Now, even look, if your wife gets miscarriage, they will hold press conference. That's the kind of minority we are having. That's the kind of minority we are having.
Miscarriage linked to what? Yes, corruption,
they will say
scandals.
it's your mama who has caused the miscarriage. What does this one got to do with the news item? What press conference are you holding about? I said they don't have moral justification to talk about this matter. Ken is enjoying himself. I'm told he has not gotten green card. They are defending him. This group, they are there defending Ken. Saying that Ken should not come home.
He hasn't been proven guilty
in fact,
yet.
Those who are even bastardizing our legal system in this country is a minority. We are students of law. We are learning from them. But the kind of learning we are learning from, I think is becoming one too many. Look, this man has a lot of issues pertaining to his handling of the ministry. of finance. If anything at all, my brother is here. I take cue from here. He's a good friend. There's some big hole lying just by electoral commission. Very big hole. $98 million. Have you ever heard him talk about it? Since they've gone to minority, opposition, 1.6 years now that we are talking about, have they held press conference to talk about the issues? Granted, Sednam been convicted with an issue. Compare the amount involved in Sednam case and what we are talking of, the cathedral matter.
So it justifies her.
I am saying that we came in, followed through the process, went through the process. We followed through until she has been extradited back to Ghana. If we're minded as a government, we wouldn't have gone through this process. We would have allowed her to continue arresting over there. But or you think it's just the American government who just decided to bring her to earth? It's the government of the NGC. Because we respect the law, we are respecters of the law. In fact, the only political party in Ghana that respect the law, that respect the constitution, is the NDC. The MPP, they have fine lawyers in there. One of the finest, the best lawyers you can think of, they have them in their party. But you know what? They don't care. They have what they call personal interests. That is what they do. They don't speak
these
law.
Press conferences are about personal interest. It's not about state interest.
It's
that
not
you
about
preach
it.
to the people that there's the rule of law, everybody is equal before the law, and how an ordinary citizen will be handled is the same way a former government appointee.
What is the issue of accountability? Why? Prof is here. When you talk of accountability, what is that about? You have been given state resources to run state activities and other things. You decided to misbehave with the state resources. That led us to the ditch where we are. They are asking you to come and account. And you bolted. You are now an international fugitive. Somebody was sentenced in absentia. The woman was not in the country when she was sentenced. I'm sure if she was around, with her counsels and other things, the lead counselor, they would have protested or would have filed an appeal ahead of it. But because she was out of the jurisdiction, all these things, she couldn't do it. Now, she's been convicted. State got conviction, all right. You left office. We came in. We followed through. We brought her back to come and serve her sentence. You are telling us we should tell you where she's staying. When has it become an issue that when they convict somebody, you should come and hold press conference to show the room where she's lying in the prison? When has it become? We saw
that of Agrada when Agrada was being moved to prison. And that's why I made the point of ordinary people, citizens versus appointees or officials in government.
I am saying that you are making news out of this. It's not a news item.
When there's no,
I am saying that MPP, they have nothing. Look, what is it about? The person.
Communications Ministry.
Do you know her house? Do you know the house of the lady? I know where she stays. Her house. I'm saying I know her house.
Okay.
When she arrived up to now, she doesn't even know the path to her house. At the airport, she was whisked away.
To where?
You're asking me to where?
Yes, because
they have several facilities. The prison office, they have several facilities. It's not only in Sawam. Everybody's looking at it in Sawam. There are several prisons across the country. They have several facilities where they are. Even when people are sick, they send them to. When they arrested their former chairman for being involved in Galamsey, and he fell sick. Didn't they rush him to Kolebu? When they send you to Kolebu and they are treating you at Kolebu, you will see a prison officer standing over there.
Which chairman?
Oh, the former Blay was convicted. Remember about there's some issue with contempt of court in Kofi Edouard. He said he was sick.
It's not contempt.
No, it was contempt. He was convicted of contempt. He didn't appear. They asked him to come and listen.
An arrest warrant that was issued
for him. Good. So, so when he said he fell sick, didn't they send him to hospital? They sent him to hospital. And when you are sent in there, it's so that they will treat you well and send you back.
It was a land litigation matter.
Land litigation matter. Good, beautiful. Thank you. That's all.
I was thinking he was talking of Chairman Wuntimi.
No, Wuntimi. Now I was talking of Blay.
Okay.
And I'm saying that the man was rushed to the hospital. We all saw it and heard it by the officers of state to make sure that the fact that you have been convicted doesn't mean that your health issues should be relegated to the background. That's not the case. I remember the issue of Chaju Chikata. When he was in Sawam and fell sick, he had that chest problem. You sent him to hospital, didn't you send him? He was sent to hospital. Why did you send him to hospital?
He was in prison.
I said, why? I'm asking you, was he not sent to hospital?
Which prison was he?
He was in Sawam.
So which prison was
there are several, I'm saying that there are several facilities. So you want me, I should tell you,
so you are not trusting you.
I am saying that.
She's in a facility.
I'm giving you an example.
And the facility doesn't have a hospital, so they sent her to a hospital.
That is why I'm saying that. From the hospital, this in the airport, she was picked away by state actors.
You see, you are struggling. You are not
right, to a facility.
What stamina has those way?
To a facility.
Of course. And sent to a hospital for treatment. And from there, she's back to the prison yard. Is that not what we are talking about?
Yes, the 15
Now they want us to do, these people. So you are also listening to MPP 15 days. Who told the MPP? They are just creating their own story. That's what they have been doing.
So that's why we are asking that the facts
now they should come fact of it. They are saying they are alleging. You see how they are shifting the goalposts. They can't even tell you where she was. That 15 days they are talking about.
So who is telling us where she was?
Why should go and ask the prison authorities? She's under the care of the prison authorities.
We are not supposed to know?
No, that's not our duty. Why are we holding forth for them?
Okay.
That's why people are appointed to do their work.
When you say your duty, you mean the prison service?
The prison service, they should. That's their work. It's not government communication. So government communication doesn't do work. You see, that's why we have problem in Ghana. Everything areas that people are supposed to handle their issues, we'll deal with that. As a government, we will tell you that, look, the lady is under the authority of the prison service.
So why is the prison service not communicating to us? Government communications as well.
Government communication is very clear in our mind. She's not at her place. She's not resting in her home. She's not resting at any facility where government has secured and said that she should go and cool off. She's under the care of prison service. And I'm saying that is what they are, the way they want to handle her. Okay. That is what is their cup of tea.
So you are not giving her preferential
the NDC government. No, why? Why should we give her preferential treatment?
Because it is you're in power, and she says under Mahama 1. You are not giving her preferential.
No, why should we? Why should we give her?
Minority is saying.
No. That's what they are insinuating. That's what I'm saying, that they have no moral right to talk about the issue of Sedna. When their own person, who has cost us $98 million, they are.
Which court said so?
You are talking of court controller, this in Auditor General reports, everything is in there. But why is it that she doesn't want to come and face the court? Can she come and face the court? That's what I'm saying. No, let me land. You have your bite. Let me tell you. Why is he running away from the court? You are officer of the court. Why are you running away from the court? You want to make it every day you are there, following through to see what is going on there. Why is it that you people are preventing your star player from coming back to Ghana? That is the question we are asking you. Now we have managed to bring back our own.
Your own star.
Our own officer. We've decided that she should come and save her sentence. Now she's using the legal process. 30th is just around the corner. 30th of July. Appeal court will deal with the matter. They've used 30th, they said 30th July, no, June, to deal with the matter.
What?
Oh, she has an appeal, pending in appeal court, over her 10-year conviction.
Yeah, because
yes, it's there.
The appeal pending.
The appeal is pending.
Look at the weight.
Okay.
Yes, there is there. So that matter is ongoing.
So counsel,
has extension of time been granted for her to file the appeal?
No, that's another issue, another leg that if you want to raise, you can go about that route and deal with it. So it's there, but it's just the same thing. You people are forcing High Court to vary their 3rd July sentence, judgment of Buntumi. Is that not what you people are in court doing?
Who?
You and your group.
And
MPP.
And what? It's going to be case MPP.
It's MPP. All of you are
so
there.
The national chairman in court.
Who is national? Do you have national chairman? You don't have a national chairman. You don't have a national chairman. You are saying which national chairman? What is your national chairman? Do you have national chairman? MPP don't have national chairman. You are talking of national chairman. You are not either. But you see your general secretary and all the other people, they are in the court always following to me. That's what you are talking about. You don't have a national chairman. This party is in big trouble. So please, the lady is saving her sentence as of now. She's there. She's saving her sentence since her arrival, the day she arrived.
Okay.
She's been serving
and
her sentence.
The facts will be duly communicated to us to understand that really and truly, with that 15 days gap, she's been serving her sentence.
Making this one
all this
big
while.
news of her like 15 days or what can I say? I'm surprised at this. There are a lot of people who have been convicted and you don't see them in Sawam. They send them to other facilities.
They say that if
there are holding
the
facilities
member of
to
the
keep them.
opposition, you would have cameras at the airport, you know, splattered across all the news.
One trend.
Which one?
That's what they are saying.
No.
They just stay away.
You know the interesting thing.
Nobody has seen her like this.
Look, you know what? The bloggers, when you see the bloggers moving around, do you see NDC communicators around that place? These are media men. These are not people. Bloggers and all this, they are now very rife all over the place.
Did you intentionally ban bloggers from...
Who buy bloggers for that? They even want more money. They chase for news to make money. So because when they stream, they get more money.
Did you prevent them
so it is not NDC. We don't have
prevent them from
How can we do that?
The airport when she landed?
No. They always follow the news item. GTV, that's how you do. You scout for news.
No, GTV doesn't even have her arrival.
I'm saying that you scout for news. That's what they do. International news items, you see them. They chase presidents, they chase government officials to get news items. And that's where they make their money from, right? Okay, when she arrived, bloggers were all over the place.
They were? I haven't seen a
I'm saying that they were all over the place. They took pictures, people recorded it when she arrived. Government officials who were there to hand them over to the security agents were there. And they took her away. They whisked her, even her own parents and family, in fact, immediate family didn't see her yet.
Okay.
She's serving her sentence.
All right.
Bring this and Ken back to Ghana. That's the most important thing.
Thank you.
Then we'll also see what will happen.
Thank you, Council. Afakwa, I need to move on. Afakwa.
Why the people of Ghana feel this is a grand conspiracy, the rumble in the rumble, is that on the 9th of July, 2025, Superintendent Adamu Latif, the PRO of the Ghana Prison Service, spoke with your sister TV station, Adum TV Bedroom, where he indicated, well, you know, there was an allegation on social media that Madam Agrada was not in prison.
Yes.
He came to clarify. In an interview with Adum TV's Bedroom Morning Show on Wednesday, July 9th, the PRO noted that purported videos claiming Agrada was not serving her 15-year prison sentence in a prison cell were untrue. According to him, the televangelist was transferred to the Nsawam female prison on Saturday, July 5th, 2025. This is 9th July. So swift. He was on point, giving details that according to him, televangelist was transferred to Nsawam female prison on Saturday, July 5th, 2025, 2 days after Judge Evelyn E. Asamoah sentenced her at the Circuit Court 10 in Accra on July 3rd, 2025. So this is clear that the prison service is not bound by any statute not to give account of a convict's whereabouts if the convict is in their custody, not to give account to the people of Ghana. And this is a high-profile matter. And look at how my brother Tanko was jittering, unable to even flow, as I know Tanko, that he was jittering because he cannot communicate the bare facts, the circumstances surrounding Madam Sedinam Tamakulot's whereabouts within the 9th and the 24th, where she was. In fact, we know all the prison cells in Ghana. We know all the prison cells in Ghana. And which of them was she sent to? Who received Madam Sedinam Tamakulot at the airport? Which institution? Is it the Ghana Police Service? Is it the prison service? Is it the BNI?
The state apparatus was there, he says. There.
And no official communication. We have not seen any video of a handing over ceremony. We have seen nothing of her transfer to prison. We've seen nothing about it. So we are not far from right to say that she was given a preferential treatment. Anybody who
she wasn't given any preferential.
I'll take that as your last comment on this.
Cooling off in one of the 5-star hotels may be right. Anyone who says that the woman was cooling off, yes, anyone who says that the woman was cooling off in her home may be right. Anyone who suggests that the woman may be at a chilling at an island may be right, because there is no official communication. Prison service, as I noted to you, in the case of Madam Agrada, Evangelist Mama Pat, they were able to detail out even the cell. So it's not a security threat because she was alleged to have duped a lot of people. That was the allegation.
Right.
So if they knew that the woman was at Nsawam anything could have happened to the woman. But they were able to put out the detail, and it was from official source, the PR of the Ghana Prison Service.
Thank you, Afakwa.
So they should speak to us.
Your point is well made.
And stop the gerrymandering, the jam-down tactics.
The ECOWAS
court,
which dismissed Madam Gertrude Sabatokonu's challenge against her removal, and we saw the news splattered across board that the ECOWAS court had unanimously dismissed that application filed by the former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo challenging her removal from office as Chief Justice and Justice of Ghana's Supreme Court. The ruling was delivered on Wednesday, June 24, 2026, representing a significant setback to Justice Torkornoo, who had turned to the regional court to contest the process that led to her removal from office. Quite recently, the developments we saw was the former Chief Justice, Justice Sophia Akufo, who resigned from the Council of State. You know, the rumor mill had it that she resigned because she had made her displeasure clear about how Madam Torkornoo was handled till she was removed from office as Ghana's Chief Justice. And then we saw this latest development from the ECOWAS court, where Madam Torkornoo was demanding $10 million in damages from Ghana at the ECOWAS court. I begin with Dr. Jalilu Atiku. What do you make of this development?
Well, thank you. We are back again. We thought that this issue had been resolved, but that was within the jurisdiction. So this matter was taken to the ECOWAS court, right? And at the end of the day, now, the issues have been dismissed, right? I read about lawyer Zifalana complaining bitterly about the fact that, regional courts, it's like they are not able to deliver fair and firm justice, right? For me, and I'm not saying this because of the Madam Torkornoo's case, right?
Okay.
If you look at the track record of the ECOWAS court, right, and then the states, right, and not only ECOWAS court, some of the regional courts, sometimes there are decisions, even where they even take the decision that maybe the state is at fault. Sometimes it becomes very difficult for states to even implement their decisions. I think one key case was where, Burkina Faso involving Songo, one journalist, and then that one, they were able to, but most of the cases in Mali, Nigeria, in Nigeria, there have been cases where
if it's ruled in favor of the person against the state.
Exactly. So one going there, my view from the hindsight, from what I know about this regional courts, and then their decisions, it was something. But the substantive matter here has to do with the fairness of the process that got her removed from Ghana, right? And in my candid opinion, I think that from the onset, looking at the processes, looking at the constitutional, the provisions that we have, okay, I personally did not see anything wrong where maybe we said that maybe this was supposed to have taken place and it didn't, or this didn't happen, right? Even though there were some people who believed that the process were not fair, but in my view from the onset, right, looking at the committee and what happened throughout the processes, I thought that everything was okay. Okay. Right. So I'm not surprised
by the judgment by the ECOWAS
court in this respect, because if you look at the whole case, it's a constitutional process and everything is laid out in the constitution, right? So long as there have not been any another way apart from that, she even went to the courts at a certain point in time,
right,
challenging certain aspects of the decision. It's also part of the process, right? And at the end of the day, even the Ghanaian courts did not agree with her on so many issues, and then that's why she decided
she escalated.
So I did not. I'm not surprised at all at the decision on this, because in my candid opinion, I think that the processes here were very fair, in line with the constitutional provision that we have for the removal of some key persons like the Chief Justice and then the other people. So I don't know whether maybe this is going to be the end, or I heard someone saying whether there will be another case at the
leg of the whole legal
debacle. So I think that we just have to maybe, like I indicated on this platform, from the beginning, that I made a decision that, in my view, looking at the situation, if she could, right, have some decision with the government behind the scenes, appointing authority, right, whether they will have some negotiations so that she can either she will retire or something, so that she will go home with something
on
right. So her going to the ECOWAS court was to get some damage, about 10 million damages. Because if you are removed, maybe I think you lose
some of the
remuneration, certain things that because they are supposed to retire on their salaries and other things.
Right.
So if you are dismissed or removed from the process, I don't know whether legally she will still be entitled to those things. I think that in my view, she wouldn't be entitled to that. And that was also the reason why, and that's why I believe from the onset that looking at where the things have started, maybe negotiating behind the scenes with appointing authority so that she could go home with something. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. They decided to go through this and then that is where we are now. So I believe that maybe anyway, there are other apart from ECOWAS court, there are other African
that she could go to again. Dr. Osai Kwapong, this is democracy and governance and testing, our judicial system, stretching it to its, breaking point, if I can say, because this is a former Chief Justice. She tried out the Ghana system and then she escalated it to the ECOWAS court. And they seem to be in tandem, the ECOWAS court and what Ghana has said. Some people would have said personally that she could still have been allowed to stay on, and then others also say that, no, as far as it did not border on any illegality or out of the Constitution, and that was how she was removed, it is still deemed as fair.
And, that, stretching institutions, meaning, like testing the law, calling upon the courts to settle very vexing questions, for me is the way you actually build strong institutions and set the kinds of precedents that can guide future behavior. The removal process, and I remember saying this once on air, and a gentleman sent me quite a scathing message on LinkedIn because he said he couldn't believe that I will describe the process as constitutional and quote-unquote fair. And my response was that we can both talk about the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. But if you look at how the Constitution describes the step-by-step process in removing certain officers under 146. In my view, those processes were followed. Now, you can disagree as to whether the ultimate sanction for stated misbehavior, right, where stated misbehavior can be subjected to all kinds of interpretations, should have been that ultimate price, which is removal. I recall years ago in the U.S. when Bill Clinton was being impeached, and it was under other misdemeanors. And so a lawyer was asked, well, what does other misdemeanors mean? And the lawyer's response was, it is whatever a majority of the House of Representatives decide it is. I realized that 146 had some fault lines, which made officers in that category very vulnerable to removal. I know the Constitution Review Committee, has made some recommendations in terms of how you tighten the rules and procedures around 146. But I mean, she had every right to move beyond the Ghanaian jurisdiction in her belief that she wasn't getting a fair hearing. ECOWAS has made its pronouncement based on all the things they also reviewed and said the process did not necessarily violate or they couldn't grant her the reliefs. I know that she's called upon the court again to review an earlier decision. Again, it's her right. It's part of the process. For me, that is how you build, strong institutions, by constantly calling upon them to answer vexing questions.
Absolutely. Kwame, I'm sure that you heard people say, and as Doc has said, testing or stretching institutions, they will say, oh, why must you just do this? Just accept your fate and then go home. But Doc makes the crucial point about the Constitution and vulnerabilities. Unfortunately, the committee have made their recommendation. It will take time before, if the Constitution is going to be amended, it is done. But then that means that as it is now, people may be vulnerable to it in its current state. And then with what the ECOWAS Court has ruled.
Right. I think that your question about, challenging the process was well within her rights. Because when a process is started which terminates with you being axed out of office, it casts a slur on your integrity and hard-won reputation. And so for many people, including us seated here, if the opportunity availed itself, we would perhaps even take a similar route, because you want to protect your integrity, your credibility, etc., etc. And also this was primarily, in my respectful opinion, very alien to our political discourse, because this perhaps is the first time we have seen a process like this having started and terminated with the removal of a sitting Chief Justice. I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but this is perhaps the first, So it is alien, really and truly. I mean, it's a novelty. We've never experienced that. And so it raised a lot of questions. People were asking questions based upon the constitutional provisions which have stipulated the procedure that the process of the removal of the Chief Justice must go through in order for effective or effectual termination, so that there wouldn't be any doubt lingering in the minds of people, right? And that provision clearly is stated in Article 146, I believe, of the 1992 Constitution, particularly with offices that are supposed to be, or with the holders of offices that are supposed to be independent. Okay. Bear in mind that the survival of your democracy is tied to the independence of your state institutions, right? And what we have come to know is that the judiciary oftentimes become the last point of resort in the event that we have given up or we have lost confidence and hope in the other arms of government. And more often than not, we lose hope and confidence in the other two arms of government, the executive, the legislature. Oftentimes we lose hope in them. And so the last arm of comfort where we find solace is really and truly with the judiciary. Now, it is quite important for us to state that people began raising questions and raising eyebrows by reason of the disposition and the conduct of the Chief Justice, you see? Because the Chief Justice is supposed to be independent, but people thought that she was being more political than judicial.
Even before her removal was triggered.
So that is what perhaps characterized the whole triggering of the Article 146 of the Constitution for her removal. So that started. Now, she questioned the procedure, and she raised very fundamental but very critical questions in relation to the establishment of a prima facie case leading to the constitution of a committee to interrogate the matter. You see, so she raised prior and existing and post, right? Whether that process in itself, in its entirety, was fair. He challenged it, and the court in Ghana really and truly did not, heed to the request. So eventually the process went through and terminated and culminated really to her removal. Now, she took the matter to ECOWAS Court, and the court that she went to is a court that is known to be for dealing with human rights matters, all right? Now, she went to court and specifically on 7 grounds, And I'll permit me just to run them through quickly. The first ground was violation of the right to fair hearing. Second was the investigative panel was not independent or impartial. Third was violation of rights to fair and satisfactory conditions of work. The fourth was violation of human dignity. 5, denial of information. Removal itself was unlawful. The removal itself was unlawful. All right. So these were the grounds upon which she wanted to seek relief from the African court. Now, of course, if anybody is embattled, because there is, in their view, there is a judicial, process, which, or maybe there's a procedure that has started, which procedure, in their view, does not find expression in the rules or the rule of law or right to fair hearing, etc. They have every right and more to question that procedure. So she was well within her right to proceed to the African, the ECOWAS court to seek relief, right? She was asking for 10 million, etc. Now, the court dismissed all of these matters because, in the view of the court, the right to fair hearing started when after the prima facie case has been established, and not prior. Because the only way you could come or you could appear before anybody to defend yourself was when the committee had been constituted. And in the view of the court, the process prior to the committee being constituted, was legit, was regular. And so she was given an opportunity to fair hearing when the committee had been put. And also goes into our constitution and disagree with a lot of the grounds, because they said that most of the grounds that she came to court with were actually in violation of the domestic constitution. You see?
Okay.
So
that's what the ECOWAS said.
The ECOWAS court.
Okay.
But for me, the argument must be moved beyond the peripheries of just the law, right, into the arena of political governance. It is important for us to, to consistently, without fail, drum home the after effect of some decisions that we take as a nation. And people may disagree with me, but I have always maintained that I am not for this political enterprise where the winning political party, in the event that they find that there are people who do not necessarily align with their political ideologies, will always come after them and hunt them. Okay. Irrespective of whether the person is performing their duties and obligations to the good people of Ghana. Okay. I am not for it.
All right.
And I've maintained that removing the Chief Justice, removing the Electoral Commissioner, and a few other independent state institutions or people who head independent state institutions, for me, it's not the way to go.
Okay.
Because we must allow people make mistakes, learn from them, and build stronger institutions. And that is why Aforijan is, to this day, one of the best electoral commissioners we've had. Because we allowed him, irrespective of the tides, to learn and grow and to become independent.
So we're scared of risking the situation.
That is the whole point. Because you see, the likelihood here for me is 90% threshold that in the event that the NPP were to come to power, that they would come and change whichever Chief Justice has been put there, right? It's high. It's more than 90%.
Absolutely.
So we must be very, very circumspect in how we appear to do this, our buccaneering political activities. It doesn't help, with the, for lack of better expression, the consummation of our democratic experiment.
Absolutely. Thank you. And for bringing the political governance part of it. You can send us your messages. I know you're watching us from across the board, far and near. Our WhatsApp number is on the screen. I'm seeing some of your messages, and I'll definitely read them to you. I'll give Afakwa and Council Tanko their time now. So just before we move to the drug bust issues that we're seeing in the country. Afakwa.
You remember prior to the 2024 elections, we had some strong activists and commentators of the NDC positing that some heads of constitutional bodies in Ghana, their tenure of office is coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. Yes, the key word is coterminous. Coterminous. Specifically, the CEO of Ghana Gold Board, was seen publishing these words, and they have acted diligently to the words of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi, who is the Director of Communications of the National Democratic Congress. It is not in doubt to say that the process that culminated in the removal of the learned Chief Justice was flouted with some irregularities. I have my own views as to the issues. Specifically, when you read Article 146(8), it tells you that the process culminating into the establishment of a prima facie, culminating into the establishment of a committee to investigate the allegations and all there is, should be held in camera. But even primary one pupils in this republic are aware of the content of the said petition that culminated into the removal of the learned Chief Justice. And that is a breach of the constitutional procedure. So if a court properly constituted with capacity to look into the affairs of dates, decide otherwise, in as much as we accept the decision of the various courts, we strongly disagree. We strongly disagree. You see, like my learned brother Kwame said, the judiciary is the last arm. It is the fountain that promotes statehood. Because for the executive, we queue and elect. At the end of the day, it can be dismantled any time through, not even coup d'etat, through the ballot. Legislature, parliament. Same, through the ballot. But the judiciary should be robust in protecting the rights of citizens and in protecting that the executive do not usurp the rights and privileges of the ordinary people of this country.
Are you questioning Ghana's judiciary or analyzing Ghana's judiciary or the ECOWAS court?
I'm coming.
Okay.
You see, as a student of international law, there is a popular question that we do ask. Is international law really law? Dr. Jalulu is here. Is international law really law? And I will say no. Other scholars will say yes.
So it's subjective.
The reason I say no is that international law do not have the force of law in terms of even implementation. But once a decision is delivered, that is why they don't deliver judgment. They deliver opinions. Because opinions do not have a force of law. But there is no international police that enforces the decision of the international court. But at least, once a decision is made or an opinion is granted in your favor, it's made in your favor, it establishes a certain ground that yes, your claim as before the courts have been established. Whether you are compensated or not, you still have certain record to say that yes, there were some infringements, and those infringements, the international court saw something relevant within the proposals that were put before them. Mm-hmm. By looking at the decision of the international court, one of the cardinal reasoning why regional courts may refute or dismiss an application before them truly is that when the domestic court has the capacity to hear and determine those matters, they don't entangle themselves in domestic affairs. I have not had the opportunity of reading the entire opinion of the court. So I cannot fashion out the reasoning of the court as far as the dismissing of the 7 claim of Madam Gertrude Isaba Thokonu is concerned. But let me see that it is as a result of the lack of the force of law within the international system. That is why ECOWAS is where it is today. Over how many years now? Anytime they go to the round table, they come back, Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050, and nothing is seen.
Not giving any steam to what the ECOWAS court's ruling
Absolutely.
is.
Because
you question the credibility of the judicial process or whatever it is. The people that sat on this case.
There were several issues that were raised as a result of their constitutional provision. Yes, Article 146 is constitutional. That once you trigger Article 146, there should be a stated misbehavior And the same procedure gives certain criteria. And so they do not even have, how do you call it, a CI or an LI that regulates the conduct of the said procedure. So it is something that they decide on themselves which procedure to use. And that is unknown to law. Once you are going before a proper adjudicatory body, you must know the set of procedure that is used. At a point, you remember Madam Toko Onum came out to say that she was subjected to some searches unknown to law because the person who searched her was even a male. She was prevented from taking some documents and other things in, but the witnesses that came to testify against her were allowed to carry certain documents in. These are fundamental breaches because due processes. You must be fair because adversarial system, you give opportunity to the left and give opportunity to the right. At the end of the day, you make a decision. But once it is selective, then you give preferential opportunity to some others with exclusion of others. Then it amounts on the infringement on the rights of the person that you are in. It means that you have predetermined the matter. These were allegations that were made.
Okay.
As of today, I know the content of the petition that was sent by Mr. Daniel Ofori and the others. The decision that were rendered, Dr. Jalulu, an academic, Dr. Osai Kwapon, a scholar in his state. I don't know my learned brother Kwame, who is also a PhD student. I don't know Professor Tanko Isi. I don't know if any of us have chanced upon the decision of the committee that was set up to investigate the issues of the Chief Justice that culminated into her removal. But we saw the petitions. We saw the content of the petition. And the woman was crucified, convicted, and sentenced in the court of public opinion before even the fundamental actualization of her removal was concerned. You see, prior to the Third Republic, in the celebrated case of Tufo versus Attorney General, where the late Chief Justice Apalu,
I need you to learn from
where the late Chief Justice Apalu, there was a scheme, a grand scheme to get him out of office because it was said that he was the head of the Court of Appeal at the time and that it was elevated back to the Supreme Court. And since he was not a member of the Supreme Court, he cannot be the Chief Justice. Tufo said, I don't understand this. He went to court, challenged the Attorney General, and there was a decision rendered. Similarly, Madam Toko Onum has been in court, and she is still in court. There are pending matters before the Apex Court, the Supreme Court, to make determination as to the propriety of the procedure and other things that she has made as we sit here.
Okay.
And we are awaiting the delivering of the Supreme Court decision on sale.
All right.
But let it be stated that whether you tweak or twat anything, as far as the law is concerned, a decision of the Supreme Court is binding on all lower courts and administrative bodies. So if we set a bad precedent, it is there for all of us to benefit, whether positive or negative.
So, but you know, Afakwa, that it could be a good precedent, but there will still be disgruntled parties, especially if it is Madame Toko Onum who was appointed by your administration. It's definitely not going to go down with your party folk.
Crime is committed in persona. Crime is committed in persona. And there's no government in the world that's, sorry to use this word, appoint, sorry to say, criminals into his government with the intention of coming to commit some mishaps or criminal activities within the government.
Okay.
President Mahama now, well-intended, never appointed criminals in his government, but certainly you may have one or two people who may be doing other things which the president has not sanctioned, or which has not come to the attention of the president.
Okay.
So people take advantage of their positions, deal with them in accordance with due process. Let the process be fair. Let the process be just. And let the process, at the end of the day, the outcome of the process be something that anybody, when you go through the process, will see that, yes, there was nothing intended. If the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, stated under Article 1468 that the procedure must be in camera, then we should not be interrogating even the subject matter of the petition in a public domain.
She requested,
okay.
I mean,
no,
let's not. No, please. The content was not out there. She was the one who
we had political commentators. I have had opportunity on GTV on Talking Point with now the Judicial Secretary, Leonard Senior Ahmed, discuss this matter during your Talking Point in the night, where the process was ongoing. We were discussing the same matters and raising issues, key issues, as we are saying today. some irregularities that unfolded as far as the process are concerned. And no democracy is succinct. Once there has been certain mistakes, certain issues raised, we must tighten the loophole, the loose ends, and ensure that these issues never revisit the country again. Because, like you rightly said, any government can take on any chief justice any day again, because now the floodgate is open because of stated misbehavior. Stated misbehavior, maybe even communication. Last week, people were raising issues with the learned chief justice being in the company of the vice president in Canada and other things, in the company of government officials and those things. And they were raising issues with the proximity of the learned chief justice with the executive. So now, when there's a change of government and somebody also petitions that based on the said proximity with the chief justice to the executive at the time, he believes that certain issues and certain things have been. It will be clearly unfair for our republic, and it will destabilize the sanctity of running a succinct judicial administration in this country. Right. We must be fair and ensure that whatever the intent of the Constitution is, we follow it to the letter. Not to impugn political motives in the affairs of state governance. It is highly unfair. Thank you. Highly unfair. Council, but let a precedent be set.
Council,
and I believe that we all use the highway, the expressway, as it's being constructed.
When have you people learned all these things?
Oh, expressway once constructed, we'll drive through it.
No, I'm saying that when this thing, the rendition you've just walked through, is it after the 8 years that you've now realized that what you people were doing was terrible against the constitutional system?
So that we all benefit from it. So certainly, if the judiciary is also creating precedent for all of us,
I'm saying that when have you people learned this? You see.
I'm not worried. He's raised a very valid point, yes, about precedents that will be set for
the ruling of the International Court, that is the ECOWAS Court, is an international court. You see, if you want to incorporate that to our municipal law, that is our domestic laws that we have in Ghana, clearly we rectify it. It's something that government of Ghana, there was a treaty signed to abide by the ruling of the ECOWAS Court and all that. You see, Madam has not been helping herself. And I'm not surprised. Afakwa and his group, who have messed her up like that. Do you know that there was a senior citizen of this country who initially intervened to try to resolve her matter for her? In fact, the matter started on Thursday. Friday, they nearly concluded a resolution of her matter. Then on Saturday, these people went and told her she shouldn't agree to what they were going to do. She should go to court on Monday. All this problem we are causing is from these people, MPP.
You mean after the petitions came at her?
I said after the petition came.
You see, can suffice in the publication of false news. We intend to court.
I'm just telling you something that, look, these MPP people, they are not helping. Her lawyers were MPP lawyers.
The IGP Cyber Security Monitoring Task Force should be monitoring him.
And the MPP folks said that she shouldn't go to court.
They made her to go to court. And they led her to court.
The evidence.
The evidence are your lawyers. All the lawyers represented her. Is that not the evidence?
This is allegation.
No, I'm saying that.
And that she didn't go to court.
If Afakwa is representing you in court, and I say MPP lawyers are representing you, what wrong have I said? Is Afakwa not an MPP lawyer? He's an MPP lawyer. Everybody knows it.
I'm a lawyer.
You are an MPP lawyer. Let's take it. You are part of their legal committee. You're not part of it. The committee is so formed and your name is appearing there every day. You are part of them. And I'm saying, you see, so these are the things we are talking of. Look, Article 146(8), and I'm happy. We are learning from them. It's very clear that matters of this nature should be held in camera. Is that not true? Who went and was asking that it should be made public? Is it not Madam Tokuno? She even went and filed. Why did it was already out? Which petition? We're talking about petition is different. Listen. Petition is different from what the Constitution. The petitioners who petition and send it. Go and read which part of the Constitution which says that you cannot be made public.
Read it.
We are talking of Article 146(8). It's talking about the process.
So is petition not part of the process?
No. It's one of it. Why is the president just a conveyor belt?
Why is the president just a conveyor belt?
You see, we are not.
No,
you are
learning the law,
and I'm telling you that. Look, but when you are doing, you are not helping us
to apply yourself with what statutory and constitutional interpretation.
Listen. We are looking at two issues here: the international law and the municipal law. Now, the international have delivered their ruling. Let's see how we deal with that one in the municipal law. The aspect that is the domestic law. You are very much aware of that. Our domestic law is our constitution. That is the supreme law of Ghana. And it's very clear that matters of this nature, when you are dealing with superior court, we are going to deal with matters of their removal from office. It should be held in camera. Madam was asking that it should be held in public. Was that not a violation of the constitution? The very constitution she was supposed to protect. Is that not a violation of the constitution?
She waived her right.
No, I'm saying, we've told her that there's a waiver in that clause that you can waive your right on that.
Right.
No,
while the petition is out,
you see,
that's what I'm saying. Let the hearing be out.
I've helped law students here. There is nothing in that article who says that you can waive your right so that they can do it in public. That is not what the constitution is saying. And I'm saying I went through all this process. Nothing was sidestepped. Look, even interestingly enough, do you know that she still has some 2 applications at the Supreme Court? Are you helping the listeners? She still has some cases over there. Just yesterday, 26th. Do you know what they did?
To ensure that truly...
You see, we are in interesting times. And I'm saying these MPP people, they are not helping Madam. We are in interesting time. I'm reading this for you. Just yesterday, 26th. Do you know that they went to Supreme Court? Former Chief Justice Tokono has withdrawn her application for review of a Supreme Court ruling to consolidate 2 of her cases pending before their court. Because when she filed this in, Leonard Attorney General went and filed an affidavit against what she was trying to do. Then when this ruling came from ECOWAS Court, she quickly ran yesterday with her lawyers to go and file removing this matter. Why is she doing this to Ghanaians? In any case, when you are talking of independent judicial, independent arms of government offices which were operating, nobody interfered in them. We talk of Afarijan and Co. Afarijan lived through all the processes. He learned through all these things. Nobody interfered in his operations. You people came 2016. As soon as you want power, you say Charlotte should leave the place. With some Trump charges against Charlotte and Amadou Seydou and Amankwa, 3 of them. Commissioned for the first time since 1992.
They cited procurement, they cited procurement issues, just like you're citing what Madam Tokonu.
Procurement what? Breaches. Good. You know what?
They herself started the petition against the other deputies.
That was the first time we began to see that a ruling government can attack an independent bodies, such as Electoral Commission, the ruling government.
So are you doing it to each other? Is that
no. I'm saying we're not doing it. And they say we'll not do that. And I'm even contesting one thing. They say that my good brother, Sami Gyamfi, made a statement. Sami Gyamfi never made a statement that when we come, we are going to remove anybody from office.
It is not on tape that Sami Gyamfi said it is co-terminus with President Akufo-Addo's
Sami Gyamfi is a lawyer. Sami Gyamfi is a lawyer. He at the time we campaigning, he chose his words wisely. No, Sami Gyamfi never made such a statement.
No, he used that way. He said it's coterminous.
If something is continuous, we're talking of. They usually find it to play it. No, we've never, during our campaign time, targeting any office that we're going to remove.
Because this is almost like the statement that the president made about the judiciary before he was voted into power.
The president never said he was going to remove anybody from office. I was in that meeting in Ho. I've been telling them, I sat through the meeting. I trained the lawyers on election management before the president came and made a speech.
Okay.
President was telling the lawyers over there, you have best brains among yourself. You don't want to go to the bench. You are always at the bar. It's important for some of you to go into and take a position at the bench so that you help the judicial system. Then you people just went and said that the president said when he comes, he's going to remove anything. In any case, who started talking about the ruling at the Supreme Court? Was it not Kandapa? Your own Minister of National Security told the whole country and the whole world that the kind of ruling coming off to the Supreme Court, we were not happy with it because it could pose a security threat in this country. What type of ruling? Who was presided? Was it not Tokunu? Who was given the 90 throughout? We don't know what kind of ruling was going on. And I'm saying that we came in. Look, none, even those who did the petitioners, we were not NDC. You came and sacked electoral commissioners and brought your party people to sit in there.
Okay.
Party apparatus, party officers to be electoral commissioners and all that. And they say, we live through this. We'll send you.
Please land for me,
I'm saying that, look, it's a victory for the judicial.
This administration is not interfering in
no,
the judicial processes.
No, at all.
Freely, fairly.
Look, I am telling you,
rule finality on this
the
matter.
The NDC government, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, should be celebrated for allowing the judiciary to operate independently.
All right.
Nobody is waiting. Look, we lost cases under this regime. High-profile cases. We went to court and lost. We accepted it, but these people, when they lost one case, do you know what they did? They went and held press conference and ran down all the judiciary and called them all manner of names, even in opposition. And yet they still want to come back to office.
Let's move. Thank you, Councillor.
These are the difficulties we are facing. So please, Afakwa, your group, you need to sanitize the way you do things. Otherwise,
let's move to another very interesting development. Thank you, Council, which is what we saw at Alisa Hotel, I believe, yesterday or so. Protests about Ken must go for the MPP side, triggering the protest at that NEC meeting. And we hear that physical fights, and among others, happened at the place. I'll begin with Afakwa on what's going on, Afakwa. Is there turmoil in the party that elected its flag bearer and says it's rebuilding to capture power in 2028?
No, there's absolute peace and sanity prevailing within the New Patriotic Party, unlike the National Democratic Congress, who do not even have a national chairman. They have. The
NDC doesn't have.
They don't have a national chairman. Okay. You remember Mr. Johnson, Student Ketia, my brother and uncle. He's on a thank you tour for almost 18 months now.
Thank you tour, you cannot.
No, he's busy thanking the people of Ghana, campaigning in disguise to be the next leader of the NDC, with Fifi Kwete as his running mate. So they are.
I don't know.
No, you see, I have predicted that Ghana is going to win by a goal to nil against Croatia this evening.
Okay.
Take it from me. All those who knows my prediction, I predicted in the first match that 1-0. Okay. I predicted 0-0 for England, and I say it is 1-0 against Croatia.
Are you a prophet?
Yeah. So I am predicting the flag bearer and his running mate, that Johnson Esiedin Ketia is no more a national chairman of the NDC. He is the flag bearer in disguise. You know, I saw even a video of him with the vice president. I'm coming. I'll get there. I saw a video. Let me give you this information. I saw a video of Mr. Esiedin Ketia attending a function with Her Excellency the Vice President, where he even sat while the Vice President was standing. And this is the NDC. Yes. In terms of protocol, I will send you that video. I will send you that video. So he's a flag bearer in waiting, leader of the party. So under our NEC meeting, it was peaceful, and some members of the New Patriotic, for some youth, whilst I entered the premises of Alisa Hotel for the National Council meeting, I saw some youth with a banner, Ken must go, and they were in some red. How do you call it? They have some red armbands and other things around them, shouting, Ken must go, Ken must go, based on the comment, the anti-party comment that Honorable Kennedy Ohinejapon made against the New Patriotic Party. And you see, per our constitution, a member of the New Patriotic Party must publicly uphold the position of the New Patriotic Party. So once you go contrary, it defies logic. And they are right in their sense to be asking Ken must go. But we believe in due process because the constitution of the New Patriotic Party stipulates a clear grievance procedure under Article 4(8) of the New 4(8) Clause 8 of the New Patriotic Party Constitution 2025 as amended. And that party leaders have received some petitions from well-meaning party members and have forwarded same to the appropriate organ of the party to deal with same. Quite apart from this, it was the security detail within the Alisa premises that were trying to prevent the people, as far as their environment were concerned, from what they were doing. They were not part of the meeting. The meeting was largely peaceful.
So this was not a confrontation between the aggrieved persons and the non-aggrieved ones in the party?
No. Certainly not. Certainly not. It was at the time the minority leader was entering. And any person who enters, whilst I even drove in, they came around my vehicle, shouting, Ken must go, Lawyer Fuakwa, Ken must go. And those who knew me mentioned my name, lawyer Afakwa, Ken must go, Ken must go.
So when footage, by the way,
yes, when leader,
when it turned physical.
Yes, you could see them. Security details.
When it turned physical, but there are some who look like they're wearing with the red armbands and are not wearing any security apparel.
No, I'm telling you. You see, they are around the minority leaders' car. So it was outside the NEC meeting. It was the aggrieved party supporters who were protesting with a banner, Ken must go.
They prevented the minority leader from entering into the NEC meeting?
Oh, no, certainly not. But anyone that enters as a party leader, they will chase you with a banner, Ken must go, Ken must go. Once you are, and the minority leader is a leader of the minority caucus in parliament. Okay. So he has a clear standing within the party leadership, member of NEC, member of National Council, and member of steering committee. So certainly, once he holds that high rank, they approach him with their banners.
Japan is a huge figure in the party. You're saying that this doesn't amount to any trouble in the party?
Certainly not. So you remember sometime in 2015 or 2016, where the national chairman, general secretary, and the national first vice chairman at the time, Mr. Paul Afuku, general secretary, Cabinet GA Japan, and Sammy Crab, were referred to the disciplinary committee of the party, where recommendations were to the effect that they should be suspended from the party, and they were duly suspended from the party. The party is bigger than any other body.
What's the party going to be doing about this situation?
I have mentioned that the party, after receiving several petitions from well-meaning party members against the conduct of Mr. Kennedy Ohinejapon, has referred the said petitions to the appropriate organ of the party with jurisdiction to treat and deal with this matter.
Right.
And certainly once they are done with their work, at least it will be made public through the office of the General Secretary for the people of Ghana to know what the party intends afterwards. I have 4 minutes,
and I'm going to share that amongst the rest of my guests. I'll begin with you, Dr. Jalilu.
Thank you.
1 minute.
Yes, so the issue here, what is it? That he made some anti-party comments. I don't know what that means, because recently the MPP has been in the media defending free speech and other things, right? So, so if he commented about Afare Hospital, that, why are you complaining about it? Because you could not complete it. It wasn't operational before the NDC. So once the NDC, they have completed it, or they are completing the project, so why do you complain? So I do not see why this should constitute anti-party behavior, or is it maybe subsequent commentaries? But what I would say is that I think that you should have hastened slowly, because yes, no one is bigger than the MPP, right? But there are certain key figures. MPP 1, you have lost this election, very difficult. You have very difficult election, to prosecute in 2028. This is the period where you need to address some of the internal matters that you have. So I was thinking that they will use their internal conflict resolution mechanism to address this, rather than just asking the committee.
Yeah.
Yes, just as it has been expressed, no one figure is bigger than the political party. So for me, at the end of the day, whichever way or however way the party decides to resolve it, I just hope that it is resolved in a way that doesn't, further create, tensions, animosity in the party, because unity is always an important thing.
Definitely.
It hurts me that we only have a few. Because there's a lot that I wanted to speak to. But clearly, I think we should hasten very cautiously, particularly people who belong to political fraternities. Ken has played his role in the sustainability of the party. I think we cannot gloss over that. And so his control, his impact, his influence goes beyond just what meets the eye, So the way he's been treated, I think we need to be very careful about how we're handling it.
Okay.
He raised very important concerns, right? That the way he was treated when they were campaigning for the primaries is something that he found, he found a problem with. That people insulted him, his person, attacked his person, etc. If I were the party, or if I were in any leadership role in the party, what I would do is try and address those concerns, try and call him to the table, address those concerns, so that finality will be brought to it. Because if somebody is displeased about commentaries which were made by somebody or some people during the campaigns, I think they must find a way of reconciliation so that the party can be strong.
Thank you, Kwame. Council, Tanko Computer, you have the last word and we have to go.
These people, I like it, we don't have time.
You need more time. It's not your party. Why
no, it's to help them.
They don't have a national chairman.
You see,
they don't have a general secretary.
You know what I'm saying? The MPP as of now is headless. It's headless. It's a party. It's headless. Do you know why it's headless? It's the only political party in Ghana that doesn't have a national chairman. Who has said the family came and took him to Bono. That party, he shouldn't be. If his life is to live for long, let's carry our old man home. So they took the old man away.
Really?
That's easier. Do they have a national chairman?
We have a national chairman.
Where is your national chairman?
To me.
But you don't know that the family came and took the man away. For health grounds.
You want to discuss somebody's personal health matters in public. But you're denying that of the said national
does that mean he's no longer there?
No, he's no more. He's no more. There's somebody's
sick.
Somebody's there. He said they have. Did you hear that? They have national.
No, you know,
we as a political party is grounded. Our national party.
You don't have a national chairman.
General Mosquito is the national chairman.
Okay.
He's in charge. He's still the chairman of the party until December. Let me tell you, MPP,
you know why they bypass him?
Alisa Hotel group sat down and designed something. And it's a playbook. You see what is happening now. Do you know that they cut the video? An ambulance came and took some people away.
Really?
Oh, it was nasty.
That is false. This is palpable falsehood.
Okay. I said
both falsehood.
Some part. Do you see that one slap landed somebody on the ground?
Really?
Others were cutted away.
Okay.
You see,
that's quite worrying because Afakwa insists that this was just the security.
So you see, this group, you see this group, there was an ambulance. There's an ambulance was there.
An ambulance carried people away.
Carried people.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
An ambulance was there to carry some people away.
We have some viewers and messages. I'm reading just a couple. The Gertrude Tokono issue says a bad precedent that threatens institutional integrity. We can survive fierce competition, but not when citizens lose faith in the referees. Good submission by Enoch Afuakwa Esquire, incoming Obuasi East MP. Hey, Afuakwa. Council, you landed when you...
They should remove and saying that nobody's bigger than the party.
Okay.
Do you know that this man...
See, we have to go. Thank you for all your messages as well. Thank you to Prempe inside East Legon. Thank you to the Prempe founder in Skills Bridge Ghana, Dr. Vaughn. Oh, I'm sorry that I couldn't read all your messages, but I definitely will revisit them next week. Thank you, gentlemen, for making the time this Saturday. I am Alfie Day. We'll back with Current Agenda next Saturday. But there's lots more on the World Cup discussions happening on GTV.
Current Agenda is brought